business. So this is Vampire the Masquerade, London/Europe 2000, episode number 65. What do you make of that?
So close to 69.
You've gone past my age now.
Right. Excellent. Past your age.
Well, gone past my age.
That's quite a feat, Barry.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody is really having a good time on my behalf tonight.
When's your birthday?
October the 6th.
Right. So like
close.
Next month.
Next month, yeah.
And you're going to be like 100.
No, I'm not going to be 100. I'm going to be about 63.
Wow. That's impressive, though. All right. Well, last we left our intrepid heroes in London, I believe Phillipe is in jail. Parker has been returned and is now a vampire. Alexis clearly has gone off to do some more Nosferatu dodgy business. So we should make this game all about the Nosferatu while he's not here, which is what we usually do. Well, we did it once. What else do we need to recap?
Where am I? What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Bishop and two other people have gone to the mountain.
Ooh, we have a Dr. Shipman.
That's right. Bishop, Parker, and Alan have gone to the mountain.
Right. All right. So that leaves us with Sage and Dr. Shipman and Barry. I guess you're playing Phillipe tonight.
Like, I know we were at Luther's place at some point, but did we leave? Did we go?
I don't know that you left. I don't know if you left. I'm happy to say that you stayed.
Okay.
So we can start at the house, at Uther's house.
Hello, Luke.
Are you there?
Hello.
Are you ready, Mr. Krabs?
He's there in the dark. He's lurking.
And everyone, my voice is once again
husky.
So this is going to be great.
Excellent.
Love it.
Okay.
Soak it in.
All right, guys. So you're at Uther's house, and various people have left. They've packed up their stuff and gone. Headed off into the wild blue yonder. Everyone's on roll 20. Excellent. Cool.
I'm wondering, perhaps we didn't leave it at Uther's because we put Phillipe somewhere. We put him in that cell.
You were at the complex.
Yeah,
I think so.
That's how I got in the cell.
That's quite right.
They put me in the cell.
Okay, so you're at the complex then. All right. Well, the evening passes without any great further ado. And you guys may crash there if you wish. Is that your plan? Is that will that make you happy?
I think that works.
Yeah. Okay. Cool bananas. All right. Well, the following evening then you wake up in your assorted rooms at the complex. Dr. Shipman, are you staying at the complex too?
Yeah, I would have been staying there.
Okay. And you wake up Dr. Shipman the following evening in your room. Why don't you tell us about how you have your room at the complex? I'm interested in the details of that, if you can think of it.
I think my room would probably be like a little off, maybe like makeshift, like wall, I don't know, in the same sort of testing area that I've been like fiddling around with things. It's almost as if I bought some, Japanese wall dividers and just set up like a small square with like a
What if they were like hospital dividers? Like
yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, right. Pretty much like that, and I'd probably be sleeping on in either the coffin, or I'd have like a military sort of stretcher type camping thing. Yeah.
To be fair, I don't know if you want this or not, but the through Bishop, you probably could have achieved, or not even necessarily through Bishop, through the Order, you could have acquired like full-on secure boxes that require like PIN numbers to get in.
Yeah. I think if I could have acquired that for everyone, then had that sorted out, then yeah.
Everybody
That's
down
probably
with
what we'd
something
have.
like that in their own rooms? Yeah.
I think that's
So it's
cool.
tech box, basically, bomb-proof kind of deal, bulletproof, bomb-proof, fireproof, light-proof. The interior has like a display in it. You can check out the security cameras from the inside of your box, and you can send emails and stuff. It's still 2000, so it's kind of semi-low tech, but high tech for the time. You can make phone calls from inside your box with nice silent, soundproofing and so forth. Okay, so you wake up in your box, which is behind a divider at the back of your lab. We call it a lab. Dr. Shipman's laboratory at the complex. Okay, and this is an underground space, I suspect.
Yeah.
It may be adjacent to Alexi's server room, a little bit further down the hallway, maybe at the end of the hall, behind a fire door or something. Okay. I might suggest that only you have the password to get in there at this point, although I imagine
and probably Bishop as well.
I was going to say
I'd
there probably
imagine.
is, they're doing some sort of override that Bishop might have access to, and if not Bishop, then certainly Gustavius and higher members of the Order could penetrate if required in an emergency or something like that. Okay. Well, when you get up, where is Bread right now?
He's in the bread bin.
The bread bin.
Yeah, so he's probably
the bread bin.
Yeah, he's probably in like a cell. I wouldn't consider it a cell. Like think of it as like a contamination box.
Right.
Like so you can see it's like pretty much glass all around it, and he's like Hannibal Lectered up, I imagine. And then he's hooked up to tubes that I feed him like with my blood to pump blood around his body.
There's a glass box in the middle of the bread bin, made of bulletproof, impenetrable glass. And it has basically a stretcher on it, like is what I'm getting, or like a
it's like
gurney kind of deal.
Yeah. And he's all Hannibal Lectered,
right?
Like
so
tied down and masked
mask on and
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, and you don't have any assistants in here, do you? You just by yourself?
No, it's just me.
Okay. Well, when you wake up, then Brett is actually out like a light because his humanity is 0. And he will wake up once it's absolutely fully dark and there is, the sun has been down for a good hour probably before he will begin to stir. All right, and right now he's full of plugs, filling in with a very slow drip feed of your vitae. Okay, what do you do next when you get up?
I think I'll probably go and check just like his vitals or whatnot, and just my usual sort of rounds. Check all stock and stuff like that.
All right, that sounds fair. What you discover is that Bread's condition is actually deteriorating in terms of his like muscle mass. Some of his teeth have started to become loose. He was already exceptionally monstrous from the point of view that his humanity was 0, so he had already developed like a very, very pale complexion to the point of being ghastly white. And his veins are all popping up on his skin all over him at this point. You can almost see through his skin. It's almost transparent. So he's not looking like a well creature, right?
Would I be able to tell if that was kind of what would have happened anyway, and that what I've been doing is slowing that down or anything like that?
Why don't you make an intelligence and medicine check?
One. Jesus.
Success. Okay. You're not really sure, but you're hoping that it's slowing his deterioration down. But you're not really sure whether it's working at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you continue with your tests. You like lift up his eyelids and stuff, and you see that his eyes are completely bloodshot red, and his pupils are entirely dilated at this point as well. Right now, he's basically a corpse. And I don't know whether you've got like ECG monitors on him or anything, but he's got no brain activity.
Yeah, I would have. I think I would have had all of that stuff. So yeah, okay, no brain activity.
Yeah. All right. So while that's
Okay.
going on, Sage, you wake up in your box room. You want to tell us
Yes.
about your room in the complex?
Well, it's when like a person leaves home and they've only got like a bag.
Right.
Well, it's kind of like her room. It'll be a few things like her jacket, some clothes, well, spare clothes. I think there'll be stickers on her thing, just like ones that she's picked up from random locations. Very much like a teenager's bedroom, someone that's ran away from home.
Right. Can you
Oh,
think of any specific objects that might be there?
She'll probably have a notebook full of her,
Right.
just like little things that she wants to put into her songs at some point.
Yep.
Um,
Does she have like a CD player or something in the room?
Potentially, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Maybe a
Even if
portable
it's
one.
just a small one.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
like her weapons, like her sniper rifle?
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that might be. Do you think
Yeah,
that'd be
Parker's gun.
possibly hanging on the wall on?
Probably not.
Yeah, they're just sitting on shelves.
It might be, well, if it's in a case, which it probably is,
Yeah.
it'll probably just be on the floor beside her bed
Okay.
or something. Very like unkempt.
All right.
It's not like she's put a lot of time or pride into it. It's
Right.
just she's put stuff down.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. And Phillipe, well, you're in a cell, so I
Yeah.
guess there's not too much to add to that.
No, it's a big cell.
It's a big cell. Fair enough. How
Would
big?
you say it's an Excel?
An XL, an XXL.
So I will study what I told you about.
Right. Okay.
And concentrate on that.
Right. So you're practicing your meditation techniques, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on that note, then, where's my folders? Just going to look up something so that I can get you to roll a thing for me, which is.
We can't have bread decay like that.
Huh?
We can't let bread go. Bread is Shipman's.
He's the main character. I need to save him.
You're the main character.
Okay. So. So basically, Phillipe, if you want to make any progress in this area, you have to spend a willpower point to make this work. And then you need to make a perception and occult roll.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cool. Right, Russell. Good. Make it.
I will make it. So, Phillipe. How do I make this separate? I can't. Okay, never mind. So we're going to spend a willpower. That's going to bring you down to 6 willpower, Phillipe. All right, and we're going to, what did I say? Wits and occult?
Yeah.
Wits and occult. Before we do that, I better make sure that you have, I think you do. One success. All right. Well, you You begin to make some progress. I'm not going to actually assign this discipline at this point. Come on, camera, focus. It's because I don't have enough light. Hold on.
I'm just taking the opportunity.
Okay, so you begin to make some progress in that respect. You can imagine what I'm talking about. It doesn't go any further than the room, basically, but
It's a good start.
it's a good start. All right.
Yeah, it's a good start.
We will put some experience points towards it, okay?
Yep.
All right. So while Philippe's doing that, Shipman, you've finished doing your checks up on bread.
Yeah, I think I'd probably try and order human blood from, or at least try and acquire a retainer to see if
Right.
feeding off fresh blood will change anything, like human blood.
Now, do you not, am I not wrong, have a kind of a situation where you're setting up a business deal thingy with
Yes.
with
Bishop? Yeah, it was with Bishop and yeah, I forget who it was with. Yeah, around the coma patients.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far along that would have progressed yet, but
yeah, true.
I could probably ask Ronnie.
Right. Okay.
So I think he was involved.
Fair enough. Okay, so you want to give Ronnie a call?
I'll send him a message.
Okay, so is it a text message or an email?
Text message.
Okay. All right. You suspect he might call you back soon. He often does when you send him text messages.
Yeah, it's a bit of a boomer, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Sage, you're awake. You're up. What are you doing?
I'm going to go to the war room with some papers and some colored pencils. And I'm going to start thinking of a plan that we can do to bring all the Sittites to the location using Phillipe. I'm also thinking could probably use Parker, even though he's at a location that isn't here. I mean, as long as we pretend we give him information that he can pass on,
right?
We can track that. So I'm like coming up with these plans and like, thinking of getting them into motion as soon as I can.
Right. Do you have any NPCs with you or near you or by you, or are you just doing this all by yourself?
Just doing this, huh?
I'm saying that's fine. I'm just checking if you want feedback from an NPC.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind like if Rhea wants to put in her 2 cents or something.
All right. Well, Rhea is around. So sure. What she comes in and asks you what you're working on, and I suspect you basically tell her what you just told me.
Grand plan.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm thinking we could use Parker and Phillipe as a way to get the Setites the same information, to get them both to go to that castle.
Why do you need Parker for that?
Because it just might be a good idea to have 2 sources of information.
Right, because he's been directly affected by them, right? Got you. I see what you mean.
Because it might not be trustworthy just to have the one.
Right.
But I don't know.
We could also maybe feed this information out through another source entirely.
We could do.
Like somehow leak it. I don't know.
The Setites hang around here like I guess a bad smell.
Right. Do we want to run this shit past Phillipe?
Probably. And Shipman.
Right, I'll go and round them up. Oh, maybe we need to have this in Philippe's cell.
Good idea. I bundle up all my bits of paper and go downstairs.
All right. Dr. Shipman, there's a buzz at the entrance to the bread lab. The bread bin.
I'll come up and poke my head up through the door.
It's Rhea. She says, excuse me, sir, are you busy?
Nope. Not busy at all.
I mean to say doctor. We're having a meeting at Philippe's room, she says diplomatically.
Okay. Yep, I'll come now.
Thank you. and she leads the way. Phillipe, now yourself, Phillipe, what do we reckon? Is this like a room, or is this yet another bread bin situation with a glass box?
I thought concrete box
Concrete box.
was what we had planned. Also,
Right.
It means Phillipe can draw on the walls
Right, like a
if he wanted to.
a room in a concrete bunker, basically. You did say you want it to be fairly big, though, Phillipe, right?
Yeah. Enough that I can at least walk from one end to the other comfortably and stretch my legs.
Okay, so it's okay. So let's say it's like 2 rooms with a wall smashed down between them, and so there's still evidence of that around the edges. You can see that where the wall was, it's been nice and tidied and bricked up carefully and painted over and what have you. But you know, it's white up until about waist height, and then green up to the ceiling. So it certainly has that kind of institutional feel to it. There's a security camera and a bulletproof box in one corner. There's a what do you call it? A communications panel on the wall where you can try and buzz for people if they deign to come and help you.
Phillipe's buzzing.
He's buzzing.
Yeah.
Okay. Raya opens the door after a minute while you're buzzing, and Dr. Shipman is there. I'm imagining Sage. You'd probably get there first, though, wouldn't you? Right. So let's say Sage is at the door first, then.
Hello.
Oh, that was quick. Oh, hello. I'm going to need feeding. You know.
That's true.
That is true. Unfortunately, I cannot leave here to do it. But yeah, you know, if somebody could come up with an idea,
I might expedite the call to my sire then.
Oh, is it not lovely that all of you are here? Is that wonderful?
I look at Shipman like, I'm surprised you didn't suggest that you feed him some bread.
No,
that would be bad.
I'm beside myself. All right, he's not looking too well. I can't joke about him at the moment.
What?
He's withering away. Okay, that's yes.
Is he okay?
I wouldn't feed bread to anyone right now, and he might actually do the opposite and be too destructive towards others. So
I'll give Shipman a pat on the back.
That is a good group.
It's okay.
Bread, you know, that was a good group. Is that what we are talking? No, we're not.
Well, we're incredibly distracted right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna
sure,
call
we'll
my
find
sire.
some food for you at some point.
I'll call Ronnie.
Well, as you're about to call Ronnie, the phone rings, and oddly enough, it's Ronnie.
Hello, Ronnie. I was just about to call you. Isn't that weird?
Isn't that weird? It happens so often, you'd be surprised, wouldn't it? You know, I'm always making phone calls, and the person I'm about to call calls me. Isn't that so strange?
Yeah, it is weird.
Kind of coincidental thing that happens from time to time. So what is it that you're interested in knowing right now? Can I help you in some way?
How far along are we with our coma patient business? Yes. Do we have anything that we can bring over here now?
Well, I don't know that business is quite operating at this point. You are, in fact, the main part of the operation, in so much as you have access to the patients themselves. However, what I can offer you at short notice is something along the lines of me turning up with a small van with some sort of assistance in that regard.
Okay, perfect.
Very well, no?
Enough for two vampires.
Right, 2. Wow, goodness. I suppose I can make that happen then. I'll be on my way shortly.
Thank you.
Interesting, isn't it, how you have managed to engineer a situation wherein your sire is running around after you.
Well, everyone keeps me busy.
They certainly keep you busy, and as I happen to have stakes in this particular operation, I suppose I'm in no position but to argue, or to argue, should I say.
Well, it'll all pay off for you in the end, Ronnie.
Yes,
It'll pay off for you.
that is what I am in fact counting on. So I will see you anon.
Okay. I'll hang up.
All right.
Phillipe, sorting you out some
Breakfast?
disposable food. Yes, some breakfast. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm glad that's sorted. So
All right.
I have this plan. In order to get the Setites to the castle. I think it's something that we discussed previously. And that is that we're probably going to need someone to give over information to them as to where we will be in order to discuss bringing them into the order. I say, I'm lying, but I completely forgot that it's probably best to lie to Phillipe. By the way, that's a T.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So I just I started saying the truth and then it turned into a lie.
Would Phillipe like to make a perception and empathy check?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And can he see her aura? I can't remember.
He can.
Yeah.
I totally can.
But the question is, did he have his aura perception running, and would he be checking her aura at this moment?
Not really, because he's hungry.
Right. What about we do an empathy check first and see whether or not you notice anything about her personality? And if you do, then you can make an aura perception check, because then you will have been triggered into it.
Whatever you say.
Right.
Happy if you're happy.
Oh, happy if you're happy. What happened there? Here we go. Oof. Well, we seem to be getting a lot of 1 successes tonight.
Whoa.
What do you think he would notice with 1 success, Fade?
Good question. How do you, okay.
Do you reckon
Well,
he would have noticed? I mean, you can make a contested deception check if you want.
sure. I think that's probably the best thing to do at this point. What should I do? Performance, maybe?
Manipulation and subterfuge.
Oh, that's right, subterfuge. Forgot that was a thing.
I have that problem frequently. I'm thinking about, I need to get that cheat sheet and print it out actually for V5 and put it on my wall.
It's a good idea, actually. I got 4 successes and a 10.
Fuck.
So
Okay, yeah.
I get away with it.
I'm guessing you got away with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm like, I'll be back. And I'll shuffle Dr. Shipman out.
All right.
And I'll
Hello?
get a distance away.
Close the door.
Oh, yes.
Close the door, get a distance away, and be like, okay, so I was about to tell him my plan.
Right.
However, it's better if we lie to him, because otherwise he won't actively do these things. He won't, well, subconsciously want to go and report to these guys. So we have to tell them, or tell him a truth that isn't true.
Well, based on what you were saying, that's kind of what they wanted, though, right?
We have to tell him what they want.
Yeah. So I think if we have a plan that's essentially what you're doing is saying a plan of what we're not going to give them, but is what they want. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Because ultimately it makes sense to what we're trying to do in the first place.
Right.
It's just different. Yeah, I will understand that what you're saying isn't your full intentions.
Thank you. I'm going to rip this bit of paper up. I'm going to start a new one, being like, okay, we're going to meet them here in order to invite them to the Order of Mars. So
Do you want to mention anything about like Mardon saying that he's okay with it. Like, I don't know, maybe if it goes into his mind that if the idea of Mardon allowing it to happen would make it seem more plausible.
Okay, I can do
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
I'm good at acting now because I've been practicing with Alan. So
You've been practicing acting with Alan.
yeah,
Acting with
Okay.
Alan.
I'll get out
I
his
didn't
skull.
know. I didn't know
There's a
Alan
skull right
wasn't.
here.
I didn't know he was an actor. I
Perfect.
thought he was a footballer.
Oh, he was going to be an actor, or he wanted to
Oh.
be, but then he became a vampire. So who knows what he wants now? I don't know. Anyway,
Okay.
scribble that out.
Well, I will observe your acting skills.
I'm going to get you to make a manipulation and performance check now, and then you can play to the result.
Okay.
Can I help her be a better liar?
You can make the same check if you like, and play that.
Was it
to the
manipulation and
result.
performance?
Yeah.
Just 2 that time.
3.
All right.
Nice.
So you're going
You're
to
so much better than me.
you're going to support his argument, her
Mm.
argument. I mean to say.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay. Cool. All right. So you go back into the cage,
Yep.
the cell.
All right. So Phillipe, we
Yes.
we have the okay to bring in a new member to the order.
Okay.
That person is going to be Lady Amissa. Like, Mardon wants to meet with her.
Really? Okay.
But it's quite hard to figure out how we're going to get her to come to this castle, because this is where he wants to meet her.
Helgut.
Like, we're not sure about like what he's, sorry, do you say Helgat?
Helgut.
Helgat, right?
Like Helgut. Helgut.
Helgat, okay. Right, the castle, it's called Castle Helgat, which is in location here. I don't know. Where is that?
I believe it's in Switzerland on the German border.
Okay. In Switzerland, the German border. Like, they're a little bit, they're not entirely certain that she's a great fit, but they're going to give her a chance, which is wonderful. Like she managed to get a hold of you, so she's definitely got skill in that department.
He definitely has, yes.
Maybe they can teach me a few things.
Yeah, I think Mardon thinks she'll be a benefit to the order. So yeah. So we should, I guess, organize this meeting.
Okay.
How are we going to do that? I'll just like
Do we-
look a little bit like a little confused for a bit.
I mean, they send us like little messenger boys with scrolls. Why don't we do the same for them?
Messenger boy with scroll.
Yeah, that just hopefully doesn't get shot in the face immediately.
Oh dear.
Don't shoot the
Okay,
messenger.
maybe look,
I will
Okay.
go.
that's ridiculous. Why don't we'll send someone with a scroll, right? Maybe not a scroll, with a letter, and we'll just say we'd like to talk about arranging a meeting. Sort of test the waters there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What do you think, Phillipe?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Like I don't think we need to keep you in here any longer. You don't really seem to be much of a threat.
Okay. All right.
And then you can get some food.
Yes.
It's coming, by the way.
Do I not have some takeaway?
Oh,
On the
it's
way?
coming. It's
Yeah.
coming.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can call it Meals on Wheels.
Meals on.
Sorry, I
yeah,
was just speaking out loud to myself. Don't mind me. And I
I get
walk
it.
off of it.
I get it.
All right.
I get
Well,
it.
I'll before I let you out, I'm gonna have just another chat outside and away again.
Okay.
Now, Philippe, did Philippe buy all of that, or does Philippe want to make a check against either of them or both of them?
He'll make a check, but it'll be I mean,
He's not going out of his way.
no,
Okay,
I wouldn't be telling me a lot
right,
unless I had to tell me a lot.
right. Okay. First check. This is against Sage. She had 2 successes.
It matched.
It matches it. So
We could roll again.
we could, or
Roll again, roll again.
well,
roll
I
again.
think that it just leads to you know she's holding back something, or she's either holding back something or she's not telling the entire truth about something. But in any case, you're kind of aware of the situation. So,
Okay, and guess what? I'm not going to look at her aura either. So,
right,
you know,
it makes sense to you that she would have to basically be, you know, manipulating your character at this point. He knows that he's under observation and they can't tell him everything. There's a reason he's in a cell, and he agreed to that.
yep, no,
So,
all makes perfect sense so far.
all right, and I'll do the check against Shipman, which needs 3 successes. Negative 1 success. You completely buy it, actually, because
So
Shipman.
convinced.
Yeah, I mean, Shipman got 3 successes. You've botched that check. So when Shipman starts reacting to what she says, maybe you start believing it more then, and that's enough to sway you to follow this plan.
Okay.
Okay.
You should wingman me more often, John.
Wingman just lie.
All right. So you guys head out. Were you going to have another conversation, or you did that?
Yeah. How do you think that went?
I think he believed it.
Okay.
I didn't
Should
notice
we-
any like contesting from him, and I don't really know how his mind thing is working. I don't know whether it just absorbs what he's saying, and then if he doesn't mentally have issue with it, it kind of comes through as, you know, his truth. So I'm not entirely sure how it works.
Mhm.
But, you know, I guess we can only hope that it translates on their side.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna write. Like, do we have a specific date that we want to do this on? Like to take the journey to where we need to go.
Or do the Setites have any form of religious days? Or, you know,
The
is Sunday or the day for them, or
Sabbat.
is there a meeting day? I don't know.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
We'll get Raya over here to help as well.
Who the
Maybe we
fuck
could
is
just put that in the note. Like, let us know when best suits you. We'll clear our schedule.
I think it's best if we hold the cards here. We choose the day.
Okay.
Show that we are more powerful.
A Friday then.
We could have it on like in the middle of the week. So they hate our guts.
Tuesday. Tuesday after work.
What about like a day when like they have their favorite TV shows on?
What TV
Ally
show?
McBeal.
This is just shoot me.
Just shoot me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know. Friday seems like a good day. That's
Okay.
All right.
you know, at least if it goes up shit creek, then you have 2 more days to do other things, right? So
Right. Okay, well, I'll write down Friday on my notes and like put it on the table somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll go. Actually, I'll have a chat to Rhea about having someone keep an eye on Phillipe.
Okay.
We're gonna let him out. Just need someone to keep an eye on him.
She says to you, "What exactly do you mean keep an eye on him? We've got that guy John here now. Is he good, or do we want someone?"
John is probably actually a good idea. Someone he trusts.
Yeah. I mean, he's not probably gonna hurt him or anything, but he would know if we explained it to him, he would know that we're trying to keep Phillipe safe, right?
We like I don't. It might not be worth putting an actual tracker on him because that's kind of if he does go wandering. But yeah, probably just an eye out.
If you could bug his calls,
Yeah,
is that it?
yeah, we can
I
do
think.
that. I can organize that. Calls. I can track any vehicles that he's on. Every vehicle here's got trackers.
Okay.
So we can mark those trackers. I'll activate the trackers on any vehicles that he gets in. We can track his phone too,
Perfect.
if required. Does you want me to activate that?
Yep, that would be great.
Okay.
So I'm gonna release him soon, and
yeah.
and then there's sort of things around here that are gonna give him a whole bunch of clues as to what day we're going to be doing this on. And yeah, basically we want him to believe that Mardon is actually all good with this.
Now, is Rhea technically a member of the Order? I'm assuming she
Yeah, she is. She is a member. She went through the trials.
She did. Okay. Cool. All right then. So Shipman, you get a phone call. It's Ronnie.
Hey, Luke.
Well, I'm here, but I thought I'd better park up by the gate rather than try to get through, because we all know what happened last time I was around here, don't we?
I'll let them know to let you come through,
Right.
so you can bring everything in.
Thank you very much. I'll be right in then.
I'll go and tell security.
All right. So they open the gates, and Ronnie Kraay comes cruising in a black van. He's sitting in the front with his glasses on. When he pulls up, stops the car. You happen to know that he doesn't need glasses, but he likes to wear them anyway. Sometimes he wears lenses. He just wears the frames without the glasses, and sometimes he just uses them as a sort of dust barrier. So in any case, he gets out of the car and walks around to the side and opens the van, and there's two patients restrained in the back of this kidnapper van with handcuffs on, gags, ball gags, and there's a dude in the back sitting next to them with a semi-automatic submachine gun, or an automatic submachine gun, actually, but you know what I'm saying. Basically an Uzi. So here's your delivery. What would you like done with it?
Who are these people first? Just so I have some peace of mind.
Oh, wow. You know how you had those issues with those the Marley boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought maybe a couple of them might be at hand.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
These might well be, in fact, the very culprits that fired the anti-tank gun. Does he know about that? He might know.
I probably would have told him.
Might have told him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
I certainly
Yeah.
went out of my way to find those boys, and these are the ones they dropped on me. Apparently, these are the ones they were prepared to rat out. So that's what we've got.
Well, no one's going to go looking for them then. Okay.
No, probably not.
All right. I'll get them wheeled in then.
All right. So they get taken out of the back of the van, and they're in basically mobile chairs, basically wheelchairs, I suppose. And they push them through the complex. So Phillipe, there's a buzz at your door. I'm assuming it's Dr. Shipman with a wheelchair.
There you go, Phillipe.
There's this.
I know it's probably not the most conventional form of feeding that you've had, but they're not good people.
This
So
individual is presently unconscious too, by the way. I'm starting to come around.
How much has Phillipe got in
Humanity?
all specs?
Oh, all specs. Oh, wow, he's got 4 dots in all specs.
Which is what?
Which is what? Well, it is up into telepathy. So you make an intelligence and subterfuge roll with a difficulty equal to the subject's willpower. One success must be rolled for each individual item of information plucked and level of unconsciousness pierced. Vampire mind cannot normally be read, but a willpower point can be spent to do it. Yeah. So would you like to try and read this person's mind?
Yes.
Do you want to, you just want to see
He's actually accidentally practicing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Intelligence and subterfuge you want then. Intelligence and subterfuge. And we roll a mighty 3 successes. All right. So you enter this guy's mind, and he's like, all like, what the fuck's going on, man? Fuck, what's going on? Fuck. It's like, fuck, it hurts. Oh, Christ, who are these fucking people, man? He's just looking around, freaking out. You can sense that he's in pain because he's been bashed a few times. He's got a few broken bones and ribs and things. So you can sense the pain that he's in. But mostly he's freaking out and terrified of what's going on. And the idea of being restrained in a wheelchair in a prison cell, being pushed into a prison cell, is fucking scary. Oh, you're on mute.
He'll use presence.
Okay, so you're going to awe him basically, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you roll for that. He looks up at you now. At this point, remember, he's got a ball gag in his mouth too. So he's like, and then when you use presence on him, you just sort of turn around and look at him and smile or something like that. All right. He stops and he's just looking at you.
Okay. All right.
He takes a big sigh.
Did I see anything of interest in his head at all that could help us or hinder us? Or
how deep do you go? You got 3 successes, so you can.
It's up to you, because that's what I'm experimenting on. I want to see how deep I can go.
Okay, well, it might take a few minutes to get there, in which case. So you begin by just reading his surface thoughts as he comes in. You get his emotions and his fear and all of that stuff. And then when you awe him, he's like, you hear him thinking, who the fuck is this guy? Fuck. This guy's pretty fucking smart, isn't he? Fuck, he looks cool. Fuck. Yeah, I could work for someone like this guy. Yeah, he's all right, isn't he? But I better not fucking let on what I know, because if they find out about that shit, then we could be really up fucking shit creek, man. I don't want them to fucking kill me.
He's on that edge. That's what I use to move deeper.
All right.
When he says, I better not let them know what I know.
Right. So
I use that like a...
Right, that's the hook that you use to pull yourself into the next layer of his consciousness. And at that point, you see that this group of Mali boys, the gang, hanging out in this rather, they've got this kind of complex of their own up in the area where Bishop was shot. You know, that whole street basically. Within those buildings, there's a complex of little rat holes and hideaways. And you have a moment where you see them being given weapons and arms and money and equipment by this red-headed guy wearing a white suit with dreadlocks curled into horns on either side of his head. And you also experience his fear and admiration of this individual. Now, to be fair, you probably would get his name with 3 successes. Let's see if I can give you any more information. Now, I know this is going to confuse you, especially some of the other players, but he met this guy under the name Bryce Maxwell.
That bitch.
Can't hear you.
Bryce Maxwell.
Hmm.
Mm?
Familiar name. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's familiar to Phillipe or not, but it's
Not to
familiar
Phillipe.
to some of the other players.
Okay.
Not to Phillipe. So you just know him as Bryce Maxwell, and there's no surprise to you then, Phillipe, about that.
Okay. All right. I feed off him.
All right. How much do you feed off him?
Oh, just enough to keep me going.
Okay, so you have a couple of blood points. Yeah. All right, so you're doing that. Meanwhile, Sage and Shipman, what are you doing while Phillipe feeds? Bear in mind that Ronnie is here.
Hi, Ronnie.
Wow, it's so very good to see you again. Your name is Sage, isn't it?
That it is.
Yes. You're
Nice to meet you again
one of
for the 100th time.
for the 100th time. Yes, no doubt. It probably is the 100th time by now. No, I never really quite figured it out, but who exactly is your sire? Do I know them?
Yeah, you do. Oh,
Do I?
pretty sure you do.
Oh. Are you going to tell me, or is this going to remain a mystery?
What would you rather? Because you look like a man who likes a good mystery.
Well, he says, taking off his glasses.
Bring them on and take them off.
What a pointless gesture that was. Well, he says, taking off his glasses and looking at you, he gives them a bit of a clean on his sleeve. I do like a mystery, but
Excellent. I'll go about my business.
Like to be informed. He looks over at you, Dr. Shipman.
You can give him a hint. Give him a hint.
Okay. What should I say? Okay, what about rawr? How about that? Do you think that's good enough?
Well, I mean,
So you're Gangrel then? I see.
Is it hard to tell?
Not too hard to tell. Not from the stories that I've heard, at least. So, what's the gossip round here then? You seem to be very busy with all sorts of things.
And while this is happening, I'm going to wheel off the other patient into the bread bin.
All right. So Ronnie's still with you, Sage, right now. I see you've been very busy lately. There's lots of comings and goings around here, haven't there?
Oh yes, well, we've been made into enforcers, so we're doing our best to try and keep London safe. It's incredibly dangerous out there.
Very dangerous, difficult sort of thing to have to do, isn't it? There's lots of unsavory types about the city of London I've found personally over the years and run into them all the time. You can't really walk down the street without walking into someone that's trying to mug you. And
yes,
what can you say?
Very true. Yeah. Do you have anyone? So you're Malkavian.
Well, so, I do in fact have the blood of Malcave running through my veins. Yes, that's true.
Do you know if there have been any Malkavians have gone missing?
Malkavians have gone missing?
I think everyone should try and make sure that we're all safe.
Well, yes.
So if someone's missing or not responding, you should try and get in touch with me or Tatiana.
Well,
Shipman.
That is in fact the overall policy that we generally tend to work towards in it, to try and keep everyone informed. We I would have to actually look into that, to be honest with you, because You know, the thing about our clan is that we don't tend to hang out together very much. It's not like we have big parties like, you know, the Bruja like to have their moots and such. And the Gangrel, I suppose, probably meet up in the woods from time to time, venture like their business operations and such, and Toreador parties, that sort of thing, you know. But us Mulcavians, with generally, and I'm speaking generally now, we generally are kind of loners, to be fair. You know, we have our own company. I mean, I myself, I mean, I do keep company with my late brother, whom I'll be quite straightforward with you, Sage. Mulcave's blood allows me to converse with him. In fact, he's right here presently. I can let you talk to him if you want, but to be fair, I have it on good authority that mostly he's a projection of my own subconscious. So I'm not sure that he actually knows anything much that I don't already know.
Well, it's kind of, a lot of people see that as a curse, but in my eyes, you are never alone.
Well,
You have your brother there
That's
at
right.
all times.
He's always
It's
been
really
there
lovely.
for me, haven't you? Yeah, exactly. So, but he does keep an eye out. I must admit, he does sometimes see things that I would have otherwise have missed. You know, it's like kind of like intuition or something like that. You know, he's looking out and looking around the peripherals of things while I'm deadly focused on what's right in front of me most of the time. You know, I might be counting money or something, and he'll be paying attention to what's going on in the background. Yeah.
That is really handy.
Well, yeah, it's quite handy from time to time. So,
Well,
if there's anything that we can assist you with, you know, I'm more than happy to assist my child here. He's clearly quite deep in this operation.
do you want to maybe go and see what he's up to? He's in the bread bin.
The bread bin. Well, he's mentioned his, I suppose, it's his patient. What a strange name, though. Bread. Who gave him that name? Right.
I might have.
Oh, it was
I thought it
you.
was kind of cute in a funny way because he's a white
Bread.
bread.
Some people might say that was sort of racist, but you know,
That's not how I meant it. I meant it like the, slices of bread.
Slices of is he being vivisected? Is that the word? Yes. So
I don't know what he's up to, but it's interesting. Why don't you go have a check on him? It was honestly a pleasure to meet both of you again.
Thank you. He turns and smiles to somebody that's not there, and they apparently are nodding to one another. And then he says, "Is it this way? Is it down
Yep,
here? Right.
Just that way.
Right. I hope the supplies are what you're looking for, by the way. I hope it is all working out. You know, I can get more of those if you need to.
Supplies?
Yeah, the van and the Vitae that you asked for.
Oh, the two people that came in.
Well, yes, putting it loosely, yes.
I don't know much about what Dr. Shipman was up to, but
I see. Well, we're actually going into business, Dr. Shipman and I, with one of your co-conspirators.
It's a funny way of putting it.
Well,
conspirators.
I speak, being funny, really. Yeah, I know it's not really a conspiracy. Don't believe in conspiracies, that sort of thing. It's a bit mad, isn't it? You know, you have to be quite paranoid to believe in those sort of things. But nonetheless,
it's kind of like fairy tales. How there's always like a dash of truth in them.
Exactly, a grain of truth, and that's the grain of truth that my brother here often spies. You know, and sometimes he's fucking right. It's led to more than that one downfall of one kingpin or another. Anyway, I'll be off then.
I'll keep an eye on him till he gets to the door. Just make sure he gets to where he needs to go.
All right, so you walk him down to Shipman's lab. All right. Okay, Philippe, you've been holed up in that room for a while feeding.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
looking
shit.
at the other guy now.
Oh, the other guy's not there.
Oh,
He's not
good.
there. He's
All right.
being fed to bread, I believe.
All right, I'll draw a picture of the person I saw,
Okay.
and I'll see how I do.
How you do at that then?
A sketch.
Gratiano. You're going to make a...
I'm going to make.
Craft.
right. Well,
Thanks,
we'll go
Craft.
with wits and craft. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go. 2 successes. It's not bad. It's as good as most police renderings can be achieved.
Okay.
So it's not a bad. I mean, it's pretty distinct anyway. White suit, red hair, dreadlocks, horns.
Yeah.
That's all very distinct. As to the exact features, well, there could have been better, but
Yeah.
still, you know. And it was a quick sketch, right? I mean, using limited tools on a piece of paper as opposed to a fucking 3 months of
Yeah.
oil painting.
Yeah. It's a quickie, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you spit out that sketch.
Yep.
Sage and Shipman, what are you doing? Shipman, you're in the bread box, right? And Sage
Yep.
knocks on the door. Is that
Mhm.
what's happening?
Yes.
Okay. So in which case, Ronnie's still with you. You open the door, Shipman, and you find Ronnie and Sage.
Oh, hello.
Hi. I thought your sire might want to join you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can as well if you want a medical lesson.
I actually might pass on that for the moment.
Oh, fair
Gotta
enough.
go
It's
see
pretty.
Phillipe.
This is pretty. Yeah, maybe not best to look at this.
What is going on in here anyway?
I'll leave you be.
Well, Ronnie,
Yeah.
Brett is not doing too well.
He's not doing very well.
No, he's withering away, and which is probably what was going to happen to him anyway.
I
But
was going to say that's probably to be expected at this point, you know. And normally, when a vampire gets to the point where they have very little humanity, they do tend to do this. I've seen it before.
yeah, but why not when we have one at our hands like this? Why not see what we can change that, even if it's futile?
So your objective here is to see how long you can extend this miserable creature's lifespan for before it basically falls to pieces.
We'll bring it back. You never know.
I've never seen that before. I'll
Oh.
be very impressed if you can. How do you
Well,
think?
me too.
Well, I suppose you impress everyone if you can do that. I suspect people have been trying it for a while.
I could win the Vampire Nobel Prize.
Wow. I'd have to start that for you, wouldn't I?
No. Oh, is there not one already? Oh. I guess this could be the start. It's the start of the Nobel Prize.
The start of the Nobel Prize, I see. All right. Well, do you mind if I go and have a look at him?
Yeah.
Right.
So what he would see is probably this person he's brought in also now strapped up in the same way, and he will essentially, it'll be like a makeshift blood transfusion.
Right.
Yeah. Like wire, like tubes all hooked up to each other and his blood like flowing out.
It's very interesting, isn't it? How fast it actually all occurs.
Yeah, well, and the heart's still beating, blood pumps pretty quickly.
Right. Does
Yeah.
make me hungry though, watching all this. Must admit, it's quite distracting.
Yeah, you got to have some form of self-control, I guess. That's why we stay outside once it's begun.
Right. So I suppose we should probably head out here then.
Yeah, but you can see what's happening, and then we can come back once this man has lost his purpose, and we can see what's happened.
Used to own as a cigarette warehouse a long time ago. It was called Players, actually.
Okay.
And there was a young fellow there, Nipper Reed. He was a policeman, actually. He's one of the policemen that, well, let me just say, I became acquainted with him some time ago. And I did decide at one point, well, Reggie decided, I went along with it, that we should perhaps do some experiments with him. We didn't get very far. Nowhere near.
What was he suggesting?
Well, what do you mean? He wasn't really suggesting anything so much as just it was interesting to me what you're doing, because we've attempted something not unlike this before.
Well, I think if we can, we should probably explore the limits of what we as vampires can do, apart from just blowing each other up. You know, if there's other things, if we can find the same weaknesses that we find in humans, why not search for that? And if we have a perfectly good Wight right here, at least for now, that isn't going to struggle too much, and we can learn about his physiology, even if it might be futile, we at least still get some steps closer to better understanding our own kind.
I must say that in the information I have on the subject, which to be fair is not like extraordinarily much, but most of it comes from the Tremere, who have done some extensive research on these subjects. It might be worth cross-referencing your discoveries with Dr. D. Well, yeah, let's see if he will talk to you, to be fair. He's a bit of a highfalutin bugger, if you ask me, to be honest with you, but nonetheless, it could be worthwhile.
I would be very interested in that.
Yeah.
I think as the more that this facility gets upgraded, the more it can be upgraded in areas that can
only problem
allow us to do these things.
D is he's very, well, I'll just say that they're a bit nosy, aren't they? The Tremere, they like to know things, they like to know every fucking thing, don't they? The minute they put their nose into something, they know every fucking thing about it. That's that could be a bit of a problem from time to time. Anyhow, I think I've seen enough.
Yeah, well, I'll come out with you, because we,
Right.
it's not the most enjoyable experience watching a man be drained of all of his blood until he's a shell,
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit different when you're doing it yourself.
I must admit,
it's a bit different watching it come out in tubes.
I do feel for him, really. It's
well, as you said, he was not a very good person.
Yeah, not a very good person, but nonetheless, he was a person, and he had a mother.
Well, he's paying his dues, let's say.
He certainly is paying his dues. That's true.
Yes, he's sedated as well. He won't feel it until a certain point. There's only so much the medication I've given him can do.
I suspect he doesn't feel a damn thing in the end. Anyway,
yeah.
Let us continue. And he starts walking towards the exit. Are you coming?
Yep, I'm coming.
All right. So you head off up. Sage, you've gone where?
I went to Phillipe.
So Phillipe, you're pretty much finished with this patient, and he's unconscious at this point when Sage comes in.
There you are. It's a picture of the man who gave him the equipment he needed to cause a lot of trouble. And his name as well. I do not recognize him from ever being there.
Well, I recognize him.
Do you?
The name is very, very familiar.
No.
Incredibly.
Okay. Well, I'd better get home then.
You're allowed to go if you want.
Oh, good. Okay. I will see you.
It's just like I look like sadly at the picture, because it reminds me of Lionel and the asshole that killed him.
Well, this, oddly enough, is not somebody pretending to be Bryce Maxwell.
I figured. I like in my mind, I'm thinking if this is the Bryce Maxwell, then he's still alive, meaning that the man that was shot by Bishop because of Lionel's death was a fake, meaning that Lady Amissa knows full well, in my eyes anyway, she knew what was happening. Because this whole thing
These are
was
reasonable
assumptions. Her little play.
These are all reasonable assumptions.
Mm.
Okay.
Just walk out to. I'm gonna hold on to it, and not tell Phillipe yet, because I just need him to do his part. Yep.
I hit home with John, if John was there.
Yeah, John turns up about that point actually, and he comes in the Hummer.
We would have found a way to tell him what the plan was.
Okay. Well,
even
why
if it
don't
was to
we-
make a call or not. No.
Right. So let's hear what you tell John. And once he arrives, you take him into a containment room of some description, maybe the war room. And he's like, "So what's this all about?"
Hi. It's been a while.
Yes.
Um,
John wears different glasses. Actually, he wears circular glasses. Anyway.
There's something that, like, in Sage's mind, she's like, he's a Phillipe, he's a ghoul of Phillipe. So by telling him the truth, might accidentally give away the game.
Right.
So I'm going to come up with a lie to him as well.
All
right. We need you to keep track of Phillipe, and like at all times.
What seems to be the problem? Why is this going on? Is he in danger?
Yes, he's in danger. Do you remember that time when there was a Lady Amissa had taken him without your knowledge?
Yes. I
Oh,
do
we're
remember.
worried that might happen again.
That Misa lady, yes.
So
Now,
if
if I
you could,
recall, she had quite a lot of security and such. Is that
she
right?
did. She still does.
Right.
But what I need you to do is make sure that you keep track of any time he disappears without your knowledge, or if he makes a phone call, stuff like that.
Right.
Don't stop him from doing it, but just let us know that he has.
All right, I can do that.
Yes, look
Um,
after him.
So you've got trackers and all of that sort of thing organized.
Yes.
Okay, and phone taps.
Well, we're working on it. We'll see if that's up and running by the time we get
Do you want
there.
me to put a bug in his apartment?
Potentially. The thing is, we don't want him to find out.
Right.
And the more you know, more likely he's able to find out.
Right. Okay.
So maybe it's just best if we leave that.
Well, I mean, I understand what we are now and everything. I've got a much clearer idea of it since last time we had a proper conversation. What I was going to say is, I'm, assuming that you guys are all-powerful, mighty vampires. Maybe you can wipe my mind or something.
I can't do that.
Well,
boy, how handy would that be?
well, I suppose it would be. It'd be very useful if we had someone like that. We could do all sorts
I mean,
of.
I could ask John if he knows, but I don't know. Okay, I'll do it. That's fine.
You're gonna
Pretty
go.
sure I can also do it.
That's why I'm going to you.
Yeah. I have 3 dominate, so rewrite memories.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go and find Dr. Shipman.
Yep. So.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, I'll probably have blood all over me.
Right.
Is that Bread's blood or?
No. I would never have bread's blood all over me. This is the one of the van men, one of his blood. Yes.
Should really clean yourself up. You never know
Oh,
what
you
might
know.
happen.
Well, for me, I'm kind of like, well, if I clean myself up, and then I just get blood all over me again.
Okay,
then
right.
It's like, well, what's the point?
Um,
But anyway, why
Could
are you
you-
here?
could you please make John forget the things I've told him?
Okay, I forget like which parts.
Okay, well, we need to protect Phillipe, right? So I've told him that we're we need to
Okay.
keep track of Phillipe.
So I'll just tell him to
That's the
only
thing,
remember
like-
that you said to just keep track of Phillipe.
He needs to.
How about I make it so that he thinks that it's his own idea to keep track of Phillipe? That
I guess
he
it's-
is he's like, I need to keep track of Phillipe and let people know if he goes missing, rather than you telling him to do it. Does that make
could
sense?
work as long as the ruse remains.
Okay. I can try that.
All right.
I told him about the whole Lady Amissa thing as well. Not the entirety of it. But
Right. I guess we only want him to remember to keep track of Phillipe and let us know if he disappears.
yes, but if you could do it so that he isn't able to tell Phillipe if Phillipe goes searching through his little mind. I don't know how it works.
Well, I
you
don't
see.
know. I don't know if I don't know how how that will go. But I mean, if on surface level he is asked, but Phillipe doesn't seem to, at least on his mind, want to ask those questions anyway. But I don't know how well this will stick up if Phillipe starts prying into his mind.
I believe in
No
you.
one knows I can do that yet. I only did it tonight.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean,
I believe
all I'll
in
say
you.
is I don't know if
Yeah.
anyone, like say Lady Amissa, is going to pry into his mind, or anyone. I don't know if they'll be able to what they'll do, but I can give it a go.
Yeah, do your best. I believe in you.
So yeah, I will tell John that in his own ambitions that he wants to keep track of Phillipe and
Right.
let us know if he goes wandering, and that the idea is there that he came up with that himself. Like he wasn't forced to do that. It's just his protection, his own intuition of protection. That's
Actually,
what
a
I'm
very
going to
good idea.
rewrite his memories to be.
All right. Do you want to make a check for that?
Yep. 0.
0.
You're just telling him.
Yes, John. This is what you will do. You will not remember.
Would you like to spend a willpower point to re-roll?
Yes. Okay. One
How long is
second.
this all taking, Russell?
Oh, so far I'm saying about an hour is probably passed.
5.
Well, Phillipe,
Yeah. That's what we're
Worth
talking
it.
about.
That was worth a willpower point.
Phillipe is getting tired of waiting, so he's gonna take a car and take the Hummer and go himself.
All right. Well, okay. So what you will notice, Phillipe, is that John is not around. His vehicle that he normally drives you around in, or when he goes out somewhere, this Hummer, is parked here, but he's not in the vicinity. Like, now, does Phillipe? Does anyone give him his stuff before he goes or anything? I mean, I'm guessing they're going to have to clear him before he's allowed to leave.
Yeah,
Sure,
I don't
that's
think he'd
like
be
a-
able to get past security.
That's a rare problem.
Okay, so Phillipe, did they actually let you out of the room?
Yeah.
They just they did. Okay, so you come out of the room. Where do you go?
I go outside to get some air.
Okay. Well, the first thing that you notice is that, well,
You
it's
don't need air. You're a vampire.
yeah. That's the first thing you notice. You don't need air. You're a vampire.
Don't mean literally. I mean,
I know.
I've been in a cell.
I know what you're saying. I'm
Yeah,
being
yeah.
facetious. So you make a perception alertness check, and you no successes, so you don't notice Dick. All right, so you go outside, and as you're going outside, 4 of the security guards at the exit to the hangar seem to be on high alert, and they start. They're like, Alpha 1 to Bravo 2. This we have the target is moving to the exit.
Take her out. Just kidding. That's what Bishop would do.
Right.
Yeah, pressure fire.
These guys will do that. I wouldn't say it offhand.
Right.
So true, though.
That's true. And would you guys be wearing headsets at this point? I mean, because otherwise you might hear.
Probably.
I probably wouldn't have mine on
Right.
because I've been all covered in shit.
Right. Yours is sitting on your desk in the clinic, in the lab. Okay, but Sage, are you wearing your headset? Are you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that would make sense. Everything's been crazy the entire time. So
do you guys have like call signs that you use on the radio? Like instead of the target, maybe Phillipe is known as Angel or
annoying.
Alpha 1, this is Bravo 2. Annoying is trying to get. No. Phillipe, you can give us a call sign if you want.
Okay, I can't think of one at the moment.
Springbokked.
Artiste.
Artiste.
Yeah.
The poser. Sorry.
Oh,
Just
he's
Da
definitely
Vinci. Da
not
Vinci.
a poser.
Yes, it could be Da Vinci.
Da Vinci is at the exit. So you hear that come over the radio, Sage.
Right. I will just walk over casually.
Right, so Phillipe, you've just stepped outside of the hangar, and Sage comes walking out onto the tarmac just beyond the exit to the hangar where you are. One of the guards steps over to you, Phillipe. He says, "Excuse me, sir, can I help you at all? Are you looking for something?"
Oh, I'm just looking at the stars. It is a nice starry evening.
Can I offer you a smoke or anything like that?
Oh, no, I do not smoke.
I see.
Thank you very much, though.
Of course, sir. If you need anything, just ask. We'll just be over here.
Yes.
I will ask that you don't go too far. Security is on high alert right now.
Oh,
It may,
okay.
in fact, be better to stay inside the building if possible.
All right. If that would make you happy.
Yeah. No, it's fine. You'll notice that we've been making some changes around here, and there's various bits of equipment too that will be shipped in and so on. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Sage, you come walking up to Phillipe as he's stepping back towards the door.
Hi. John's inside.
Oh, is he?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
He'll be he was just getting prepped for his new uniform. However, then after that's done, you can take him away and you can go.
Okay.
Just remember that's martial law.
Yes.
And you probably don't have the papers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No.
Was Phillipe in town when you guys all got your MI5 business? No. Okay.
So, okay, so I have to wait anyway. How am I going to get past,
Well, one of us could go with you.
You? With
I
me?
wouldn't mind. Sure.
Oh.
Perhaps John as well. I know it's a bit of an odd mix, but we don't get enough time together. And
really? Russell, now I am suspicious.
Now you're suspicious.
Yeah, now I'm
it's
suspicious.
for the sake of the show, because Shipman and John don't really get, Sage and John don't really get like to hang out very often. So it's nice to see their little quirky fun times.
Right.
But
Now I am suspicious. Yep, yep, I'm
That's
suspicious.
fair. Philippe, I'm gonna make a check for you.
I would have brought Alexi as well, but he's, I don't know. He
Perception.
always goes missing.
I'll say that you have an email from Alexis saying that he's on urgent Nosferatu business. Philippe, you get 2 successes on a perception and empathy check. You can contest
Opposing?
if you want to.
What was that?
Make an opposed roll. What did we roll last time? Was it wits and subterfuge?
Find subterfuge now, 1 sec. Here you are. Just the one.
Right. Okay, so Philippe, something's up. There's something peculiar about that to you.
I'll keep it to myself. Store it in my brain.
Fair enough. Okay.
Bringing Shipman is a bit of a weird one.
All right, but
At a game, it is just so that I'm doing it for the DM's sake, really.
that's okay, but we need to justify it in game. So I'm all
Right.
good with it. Let's roll with it.
True that.
It adds to the drama. I mean, and to be fair, maybe Shipman is keeping an eye on him from the point of view of, is he physically normal? You know, like if he's been affected by somebody, does he have any physical signs of that, any medical signs of that? I don't know. Just for his
Yeah, I think it's more probably because that's what I guess my skills are developing into doing. It's probably understanding how to identify those things as well.
right. And if something was to go wrong, having a doctor nearby might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So John eventually comes out, having had his brain washed with 5 successes from Dr. Shipman's willpower reroll. And he seems really happy to see you, Philippe.
So happy to see him.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so he starts up the Hummer, and you know.
Before you go, you won't be able to get through the checkpoints, John. So,
Okay, what's going on?
oh, it's martial law out there.
Right.
So it's advisable if you take one of us.
Out of game, thought you were both going.
Yeah. It's like a one or more situation.
I'll
However, okay.
I'll take whoever I can get. You know.
I'm gonna bring Dr. Shipman as well.
All right. So
Not that he needs any help.
you get in the vehicle. You leave the complex together in this Hummer.
I didn't have time to have a shower, so I'm still covered in blood.
You're having a shower, changing a shirt at least. Also, where did Ronnie go?
Oh, Ronnie. Ronnie will have left by now.
Yeah, I think he left after the interaction with Bread. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, so you could drive to Philippe's apartment. Now, Philippe, this is where Rosa and Giorgio and Rosa are staying. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and you've been away for a little while now, haven't you? You've been off in Italy.
Oh, I've let them know that I've gone away on business. It's all art stuff.
You've been in Paris too.
Yeah.
France.
Yeah.
Would you have taken them to France? There's no chance that they're still in France.
No, there is a chance that they're still in France.
Okay, well, why don't we leave them there for now? Okay, they're holding the fort on the job that you were doing previously before you came back to London on this emergency mission.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so then you get to Philippe's apartment and you head on in. Tell us about this apartment, Barry. Not to be confused with the one in Milan, and also you're on mute.
Yeah.
It's a very luxurious apartment. It's up to date though, very up to date.
Yep.
In its appearance. It has art, but not put them up on the wall and call it art, proper art, you know.
So we
There
talking
are
paintings or sculptures or both or
there are paintings and sculptures here,
okay.
all that sort of stuff. Because he does work here
All right.
sometimes. He's got an area, another floor where he actually has an art, where he works upstairs. So he's had to pay for that, and he's got a gallery, so he's got to keep his eye on that too. So he's got an office too, and all this sort of thing, and paintings that he's been painting, and
Right.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Can I get everyone to make perception and alertness checks, please, from their journey along the way?
3.
That's almost like you'd almost already rolled that.
I already headed up. Set up
-1.
-1. Well, what are you distracted by?
Probably trying to wipe like blood off my pants.
Right. John may tell you that there are spare clothes in the back. Phillipe, you get 4 successes on this check. And John probably should get a fair chance as well. He gets 3 successes. Okay, so John, as you're driving, John says to you, Phillipe, do you see that? And at which point you've already noticed the tail that is following you.
Yep, there is a tail.
What kind of car is it?
It is can I see
It's a
at
blue
night?
sedan. Yeah.
It looks like a sedan of some kind.
It basically every time you're going under the lamppost, so flash blue for a moment, and then it's back to black and white for a moment.
It is definitely blue.
It has standard number plates on it. It doesn't seem to be anything. It's not a police car or anything like that. But it does beg the question as to how they managed to avoid martial law.
Okay, it has standard number plates, which makes me wonder if there is martial law. Why are they able to follow us?
Well, I mean, we can just continue doing what we're doing, and then is to not act like we've noticed, and then deal with it when we stop.
I have a better idea. Let's lose them.
That is a good
Oh God,
idea.
who's driving?
John's driving.
Okay. Oh.
Do you want this? You're all up in the front. I want next to him.
John, so you're going to climb over in the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make another Ellen.
I'm not going to be on the driver's seat. Just in the passenger. If Philippe's there. Hi, Phillipe.
So you're sitting between Phillipe and John now.
Hi.
Hi.
Now I am really suspicious.
John looks at you. He says, well, if we try to lose them, they're going to know that we know that they're tailing us.
No, keep going. Keep going. Let them.
Yes, but we can't bring them to Philippe's place. Otherwise, they will know that they're going to. That's where we're going. And then that place would be.
Does John know you guys have MI5 clearances?
Well, yeah, I mentioned it.
Okay. So
that's why we were coming along with it.
Have you considered stopping them under the auspices of MI5?
We could try. It's dangerous.
Yeah, why don't we just pull over, see what happens?
I say we let them follow us and see what happens.
Well,
just not to your place, Phillipe. You don't want it to be compromised.
We could go to the hospital.
You don't
what
want
are they going to do? What are they going to do at a
come...
hospital?
Well, depending on who they are, let me see. They could do all sorts of things, whoever they are. We don't want them near a hospital. Well, Sage, Bishop's not here, and you're the closest thing to being in charge, so.
John says to you, and I'm working for you, Phillipe, so whatever you say is what I'm going to do.
So what are we doing, Sage?
Wow, I love how we all pass the buck.
Yeah, What?
One-
I
well,
told you what to do.
I could probably lose them without it looking like we were trying.
Well, I could probably do that too. I don't know if I'm as good as you are, but
Give it a shot. Drive to the hospital. I think that is a pretty good idea.
we can try and lose them in the car park around the hospital, perhaps. We can head into the. I don't know whether there's an emergency going on there or not, but we can
There'll be a
try.
public car park at the hospital, like a parking building.
Yeah, there's not a lot of cars on the road, so it's going to be a lot harder to lose someone right now. You know what I'm
I
We
saying?
can
believe
always
you.
duck into the underground hospital staff parking if we
Now
need
that's a
to.
good idea. Do you have a tag for that?
I do.
All right. And John turns off towards the hospital. Okay. Okay. Well, for a minute you thought you lost them, and then a couple of blocks later you find them back on your tail again. And then as you approach the hospital, John slows down to go in through the exit, and you have to stop at the front gate where there's a boom, and you've got to take a ticket from the thingy. And he reaches out to grab it and puts his window back up. The boom swings open, and you drive through. And what are you guys doing?
Perhaps we could commandeer an ambulance. Swap vehicles?
Do we see, is the vehicle still around? Like, has it pulled into the area as well?
Right. Can you make a perception alertness check, please?
Just him?
Well, he's the one that
One.
asked. If anyone
Yeah.
else,
One.
as well.
I would be suggesting for someone who might, be good at spotting things to pop out and see what they can
You go 5.
5 successes. Okay. The blue sedan has parked. Actually, it drives past the entranceway. Like, it follows you up to the entrance. It's a good 100 meters behind you, and then you see it drive past the entranceway. The windows are closed. They are blackened windows.
Perhaps we should follow it.
we could get an ambulance and follow it.
Hang
Well,
on.
that
How
might
long
be a
is it
bit
going to
obvious.
take us to
Yeah.
find an ambulance and get into it and all of that? We already lost them. They've just gone past, haven't they?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we can just get the ambulance and go to Phillipe's.
I mean, I can turn around and try and follow them right now, or we could get an ambulance.
Let me.
Okay. Yeah.
Phillipe, is she allowed to drive this vehicle?
Hurry up, we gotta get going.
All right, go.
Okay.
John gets out of the car. He sighs. He's a little bit miffed. This is his vehicle.
Right.
Walks around and gets in the other side.
Once he does that, I'm putting the pedal to the middle.
All right.
7 successes. This is
All right.
ridiculous.
So you zoom out through the barrier.
Mm.
You're still going to have to put the ticket in the thing to get the barrier to rise, unless you're
Oh,
going to crash through it.
Just hones
Hold
out
on,
her
right.
and then slows to pull the ticket.
and then we, yeah.
John passes you the ticket from the back seat,
Yeah.
and it's like. Whoop, it raises, and you
Please don't
pull out.
crash through my barriers at my hospital, please, Sage.
All right, so you'd made an excellent driving check, which will last for a good little while, but you will need to make another perception and investigation check now. Anybody that cares to.
I will have a look too. Phillipe will have a look.
Phillipe is having a look.
4.
1.
Perception and investigation.
Meet me.
Wait, this is a Hummer, right?
Yeah,
Like the least subtle car you can.
yeah, it's not very subtle.
No wonder we were
Is it a
being
yellow one
tracked.
too? Like the classic big giant yellow Hummer?
No, this is a black Hummer.
Okay.
2 successes. It's very intimidating with black windows and, you know, it's unmarked. So Phillipe, 2 successes. So Sage, you got 4?
Yes.
All right. So as you drive around the block, looking, keeping your eyes peeled, you see it's parked over next to an emergency services 4-square type dairy type situation. Somewhere that's basically been allowed to stay open in case of emergencies. People can go there, even under martial law, if they absolutely have to. You know how, like during COVID, we had essential services.
Yes.
And so they're parked in the handicap park out the front of this place.
Oh, that's typical, really.
They might be
Awful.
handicap, okay. They might have the little ticket. Anyway, I'm gonna do the whole spinny thing again, so I meet them face to face.
Well, they're parked up to the thing, so they can't be
Yeah.
face to face.
Oh, true. You know, I'm just
You
gonna
can pull
park
up
behind
next
them.
to them. I mean, you could pull up next to them and look in the window or something, I suppose, or you could park behind them. Okay, yeah, you pull up right
We go
behind them.
behind them, they can't go anywhere.
So if
So,
their car is there and that's
Yeah.
the back of their car, are you here or are you here? Like, are you there or there?
I think I'll be there.
Okay, so you
But,
pull
yeah.
up right behind them. Okay, fair enough. All right, what do you do now?
Guess I'll be the one. I've got the biggest balls here. It's fine.
I mean, I got my sleeve gun. Wait,
Do
no,
you?
I don't.
Hang
No.
on, are we not gonna tell them anyway that the things are all right and we have organized the situation? Are we
What?
not?
What?
Are we not?
We don't
I'll
even
hop
know
out.
who it is.
What?
I mean, if this is Lady, what? I'm confused now.
I don't know if this is Lady Amissa. I don't think it is. Anyway, I'm gonna hop out.
I'll come out as well.
You get out. Okay. Very
Go
good.
to the window.
All right.
Knock on the door.
There's no response.
Oh, looks like we have to leave.
I'm going. Well, I have heightened senses now.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna use heightened senses
Okay.
to see if I can hear anyone inside.
Can you make a perception and investigation check?
2.
If there is someone inside, they must be hiding below the door frame or something like that. You can just see through the dark glass enough to make out vague shapes of the seats and what have you, and you have to kind of move around a bit to see through it, but you can just make out the seats, and the front seats don't seem to have anybody in them.
Okay. I'm going to get out my claws. So blood point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start attacking the tire. Just walking around, plinking one of the tires.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're letting
One
out
at a time.
basically on the tires.
Mhm.
All right. I'll get the other 2 of you to make perception and alertness checks while that's happening.
God, I wish Bishop was here. He could be the one to make silly mistakes.
3.
You got 3 successes.
Yeah, I thought this would be the sensible group of people, but no.
Oh, Phillipe, you got negative 2 successes. Why are you so distracted right now?
'Cause I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I really don't know whether we should be doing what we're doing or not.
Okay. All right. Well, Dr. Shipman, how many successes did you get? 3.
Yeah, 3.
Okay. A couple of things you notice. The first one is that there is a video camera pointed at the car park. A security camera that's like basically over the door of the emergency services dairy. There's 4 square. The other thing is that there is a figure coming out of it, and you hear this bing as the doors start to open from inside. They're fairly opaque, these doors, but as they open, the figure that emerges is in fact your sire. And he steps out, and he looks at his car, and he looks at you, and he looks at Sage. At which point, Sage, you're kind of like just finishing up with the 4th tire. He's like, I suppose you caught me. Oh dear. Well,
Aren't you
Oh,
a little
Ronnie.
mischief maker? I'm so sorry about your size.
Ronnie, what are you doing?
Classic
well,
misunderstanding.
I thought that, well, to be honest with you, I was spying on you. I
You
thought
don't
that
have to
might-
spy on us, Ronnie.
I was curious, you see, as to what was going on. I have a task that I've been given, and unfortunately, I am not in a situation whereby I can refuse said task. Therefore, I am here.
Are you
And-
allowed to tell us anything now, Ronnie?
Well,
You harp on to me about being honest with you.
well, you see, what can I say?
What is going on? What is
My sire's being silly, Phillipe.
oh
I am
oh.
not at all being silly. I am following instructions to the letter as I have been given them. And well, the truth is, Doctor, that well, let's just say that the heart is a great mystery, and you might find that within its confines there is a labyrinth of corridors.
Are you in love?
I see.
Is that why you do this?
You might say that, yes. I suppose you could say something along those lines, yes. Yes, the
What does she want?
well, I can't say I have any clue as to the motivations of the one of whom we
The one in the labyrinth.
speak. Dr. Shipman, I was trying to be cryptic.
Labyrinth.
What did you say?
Wait, when you say labyrinth, could you go back into that, please?
It is a good movie.
Yeah, Labyrinth, you know,
Yeah.
David Bowie.
Yeah.
Know
a
that
great movie.
Don't,
Fires are
don't,
approximately 400
Ronnie, like
pounds.
you
Don't
can
treat me
tell
like
you
an
can tell
idiot.
me. You can tell me these things, Ronnie.
Well,
You
let me
know,
just
I'm
say,
I'm honest with you as much as I can
Listen.
be.
all right,
and
you
you've
caught
seen
me
this.
fair and square. I can't debate the fact that you caught me fair and square. But what I can say is that my sire, you see, because even Ronnie Kraay has a sire, has put me up to this. And therefore, as you can imagine, if you understand the disciplines and powers of the blood of Molkov, that I am not in a position to talk about it.
I can come talk to them if you want.
No, I don't want you to. That's absolutely not. Why would I want you to go and basically show them that I had fucked up something that I'd been?
I don't have to tell them that you fucked up. It can just be a merry visit. And then they can talk to me.
Directly.
Yeah.
Now, do you really think that's a good idea?
John, I think that you can move the car.
John.
Yeah, you're blocking Ronnie in. John,
moves
move the car.
into the driver's seat while Sage, because you're out of the car popping tires anyway.
I mean, I won't do what you don't want me to do, Ronnie.
John parks the car next to to Ronnie's car.
Are you in danger, Ronnie?
I'm
Are
not
you in danger?
danger. Don't be ridiculous. What the fuck would I be in danger for? But I will say that I certainly don't want to find myself on the wrong side of certain individuals. You know, even the great Ronnie Kraay has some sense and idea of where the limits are. You know what I mean? Isn't that right, Reggie? Yeah. You tell them
Well, is there anything that we can give you that will appease what you were trying to do here?
well, where were you going?
We were going to Philippe's house.
I see. So, I mean, I suppose if you just tell me where that is, I could probably just go along with that. You know, probably have to park outside for a few hours or something, keep an eye on the place.
It's
You
going
can
to be
see.
pretty hard for you to drive anywhere with your tires deflated.
Oh, don't worry, I have double A. I can get them fixed pretty soon. I'll call them in a minute. As if they're allowed out during this whole martial law business and such.
Do you have insurance?
Of course, I have insurance. Would you take me?
I was more probably thinking Sage.
Oh yes.
If Ronnie decides to take this to insurance, there's footage.
Oh,
There's
footage.
I
nothing
don't
to
want to
say
dispute.
that
I don't
day.
want to dispute it. You know? I don't want to. I don't want to have to, get involved in car insurance
Why don't
disputes.
you just look at this as a situation whereupon I am keeping an eye on you for the sake of your own good and safety? I might be considered an asset, in fact. How about that?
Well, you don't have to go skulking around, Ronnie. I keep telling you this.
It's-
You're more than welcome to join us.
It's better for everyone if you don't know that I'm there.
Okay, well, that didn't really work, did it?
Well, that's only because you were looking. If you weren't looking, it would have been easier, wouldn't it? And there's just fucking 4 of you in that fucking car now. So how am I supposed to avoid that? There's no cars anywhere. Do you have any idea how hard it is trying to follow somebody during martial law? Not only is there no cars to hide behind, but every 5 minutes I'm being stopped and having to have these little conversations with these police on the side of the road. I'm taking my fucking glasses off and looking them in the eyes, that sort of thing. So it's quite difficult.
I don't want you to have to sit outside Phillipe's house for hours, Ronnie.
Please don't. Honestly, please don't follow us.
Oh,
We're already
okay.
getting tailed by the Society of Leopold people. So that could be you at some point. They could be pulling you over, or they could really hurt you. So
Leopold have to do with all of this?
this is why we're in martial law.
I thought it was to do with the Sabbat.
It's everything. It's both of them.
The Sabbat and the Society of Leopold at the same time.
At the same time.
That's a bit excessive, isn't it?
Look, we're in forces. So we're doing our part, remember?
Right.
We need you to do your part and stay home, regardless
I'm going to make my
of
way
what
over
your
to John
sire
John.
says.
Okay, Phillipe, you go make your way over to John John. Get in the car.
John John,
Yeah, Phillipe.
I never knew that going home could be so complicated.
I had no idea either. Is this normal for you lot? Getting
Not
followed
really.
everywhere and so on?
Not really. And Sage is being awfully nice. There must be something wrong.
Is she
She can-
usually not like this?
No, not with me. She thinks I am I am not her type of person.
You're not her type?
No, a person.
Are you even a person? Is that
Well,
the thing? Do you call
you know what?
vampires people?
You know, I have heightened senses on, right? I can hear you.
True.
Also,
Oh.
also, I have to like you. Remember, we're family now.
Oh, that is true. That is true. Okay, she likes me, but she puts up with me. Yum.
You cheeky thing.
Okay, shall we get going?
I'm all keen for that. It's something I have to do when we get to yours. I walk up to you guys.
Yes, are we going? Are we doing? What are we
Well, I'll
doing?
hop in, but I'm afraid that we'll leave Dr. Shipman behind.
Where is Dr. Shipman?
He has gone somewhere in the dark. Not
Get him-
even I can see him with
get him some
heightened
boots.
senses.
He's stuffing his face.
The
Either that,
boots.
who knows? Filthy Dr. Shipman.
Sure, he could get away with it at his job.
Bludgeon his ego till he responds.
Excuse me, can someone tell me who was that gentleman that he is talking to?
That's his sire. It's
Oh,
Ronnie
is it?
Kraay.
Oh, who is Ronnie Kraay when he
His-
is alive? Well, when he is dead, I mean. Not when he was alive.
There he is. And there we were thinking we just couldn't see you, but you were
No, I had to
literally
run off. Hello.
Hello. Okay, so what are you doing?
I'd like to go to Phillipe's place, please.
So you get in the car with John
Yeah.
John and
John can drive now.
all right.
I would have probably asked Ronnie if he wanted me to stay with him.
Well, I think a better idea is that you go along and we'll have a chat later. How about that?
Okay.
I will have to need to talk. I will need to go and talk to our friend at the you know who I'm speaking of, and so forth. In the meantime, but we can catch up.
Yes, I haven't seen them in a while, so yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's if I'm thinking of the same person.
To be fair, Dr. Shipman, I'm against that between you and me. Truth is that I'm not especially comfortable with interactions between myself and her, nor am I particularly comfortable with interactions between you and her. I feel that our lady of great privilege has much influence across this city, more influence than she would let on. And I personally don't like the she's a bit nosy, isn't she, you know?
I mean, I could say the same about you.
Well, yes, but you don't need me nosing on you, only to go and talk directly to her, whereupon you'll be even extra nosed upon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she'll be right in your head in 2 seconds. You know, she can read your fucking thoughts.
Well, that might not be a bad thing.
Oh, if you say so.
But just putting it out there.
You might, in fact, finally spit out the things that you won't tell me, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, then, if that's your desire.
As you know, it allows me when we went there to get in touch with my my childhood in a way, you know.
Your inner child.
My inner child, yes. I'll walk off and get into the Hummer.
Are you? Oh, well, I suppose you're going with them then, all right?
Oh, I thought you didn't want me to go with you.
No, that's good.
Well,
That's fine. What did you say, Jake? You said he should go.
All right.
He says you should go.
Who is
I will
driving?
go, Ronnie. But if you need anything, Ronnie, just call.
Of course. Yeah.
Sage?
Yeah.
Are you driving or is John driving?
John is driving.
John, you would prefer to drive. Is that not correct? Ooh, good.
Yes.
It's his vehicle.
I think Dr. Shipman is coming now. Look at that.
Wait, Ronnie, do you actually need a lift? I just realized all your tires are popped.
He looks up at you and he says, I think I'll be okay. I've got my Automobile Association card with me.
Right, yeah, okay. Well, Sage is sorry. I'll say that on her behalf, and then I'll get in the Hummer.
All right, so you drive off with John in the Hummer.
I'm not sorry.
So,
I'm being stubborn.
all right. Well,
No.
Where is your other half? He normally is with you all the time. Why is he not here?
Ellen?
That is the one.
I'm giving him an incredible amount of space.
What have you done, Sage?
so much space, you could say he was an astronaut.
What?
I don't want to talk about it.
It's okay. All right.
This is watch Phillipe turn around. All right. You get to Philippe's apartment, and you go inside and witness the art, all the art, much art.
It's beautiful. I need a spare room. This one will do. Close the door immediately.
I thought we were just dropping them off.
I'm fine. I am good.
We staying? You can show me around, Phillipe.
Are you staying? You cannot go in that room there.
Which one?
That room is locked.
Oh, Is that
Okay.
the only reason I
And
can't?
do not go in that room because I said do not go in that room. I know you are Malkavian. You might go in that room because I said don't go in that room. And that would be just confusing. All right. But do not go in that room, please. It would
Oh,
upset me greatly. That is private.
look, if I accidentally did, would I be able to blame it on my blood? Would that like suffice? You know?
No, that would not suffice.
Okay, well I won't go in there then.
Good. Just leave that room. And the spare room is over there.
Well, I'm
And-
gonna go look around at the
Oh.
art and everything.
I will need to make one quick correction, and that is to say that the person we were talking about is not actually Ronnie's sire. His sire is someone else, but he would have said grandsire, and by using that term, be quite vague.
I'm
Well, I'm assuming it
Present
is the
noise.
person I'm thinking of.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
at a game. We're all talking about Justine Strathholm.
I'm going to spend 10 minutes in the spare room to converse with my sire.
All right. So you go into the room and you take out your piece of mirror and you smear blood on it, and you draw a sigil that opens up a mind portal. And after a few moments, you feel his presence as he begins to appear in the mirror before you. Miss Blackwood.
Mr. Saint Bernard. Is that right? De Saint Bernard? De Saint Bernard. Sweet. I didn't know if I shouldn't have included the middle part. So
Yes.
I was talking to the Malkavians, well, Dr. Shipman and Ronnie Kraay. They brought up the labyrinth again.
The Labyrinth. You speak
Yes.
of Miss Stratholm's Labyrinth.
Well, I didn't know at the time. When he had mentioned it, when Brutus had mentioned it. Perhaps that's the labyrinth that he meant. The betrayal.
Brutus mentioned a labyrinth.
I had told you this before.
Yes.
We thought it was the mountain, but no, I think it's their one.
Remind
And
me of the context.
they were talking about, like, Ronnie was talking about his grandsire. So perhaps it was their labyrinth.
There is a labyrinth the Malkavians have in their possession. It belongs to Justine Stratholm, Primogen Councillor.
But still, what is the betrayal? It's still on my mind because I don't want to be caught off guard by it.
Betrayal. Well, if you're interested in investigating these things, perhaps you might consider speaking with the other members of their clan. I can tell you some names if you wish.
Sure.
Miss Stratholm's not the only low generation Malkavian in the city. Beware of Andrea Lacroix.
Andrea Lacroix.
Have you seen that name before or heard it?
No, but Lacroix, isn't that the cross?
Yes, correct. Her childer is Eva Stratholm. Eva's child is Zaniah. Then there are several others who are less connected to that line and of higher generation.
Hmm.
I believe Shipman is the childer of Ronnie Kraay, and his sire is Eva Stratholm, related by blood to Justine, but not by kindred blood. Confusing, yes.
like actual blood
Correct.
before
Eva
they
Strathwell
died.
was Justine's mortal child.
And then grew up and embraced her.
Well, I'm not sure how much she grew up before she made the embrace.
That's not good. How do you know this?
I've lived in this city for some time. I've had opportunities to learn things.
Okay, I suppose it's something we could do. I really want to get to the bottom of what this betrayal is.
There is one in that line named David Newborn. His sire is was once a friend of mine, I should say, or at least, shall we say, a fellow occultist. McGregor Mathers.
Right. Right. Yep, I got it.
Mathers' sire was Eva.
Hmm.
So they come from that direct line from Andrea. But their kindred blood is not that of Justina's. That is a separate bloodline.
Separate bloodline.
Yes.
Okay. I look forward to meeting them. Is there any of them I should probably stay away or try and keep the knives away from them?
I would avoid Andrea at all costs. She is exceptionally powerful and quite mad, as is Justine. Their child, less so, but David Newborn, he is the weakest link. I estimate his generation to be 10th.
Right, okay.
Mathers, his sire, you might be able to deal with, but despite his generation being merely 9, his age is considerable in relation to yours, and he no doubt has a few tricks up his sleeve.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yes. So, good luck.
Thank you.
Can I help with anything else?
Not particularly. We're just at Philippe's place. We've kind of laid some groundwork to our next phase.
And what is your next phase whilst we're here?
Phillipe gives the Setites information to go to that tower. The fact that we want to invite them in.
Tower?
Sorry, the castle.
Helgat.
Helgat. One day I'll remember that damn word. Yeah, so that's the plan.
Very well.
To get them to go there.
I see. And when you make this plan and you set it in motion, you have well some sort of security plan in mind.
Well, we have Gustavius. We can always talk to him about the security there. All that.
What is
Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes. What is your end goal?
Our end goal
Yes.
is to get Lady Amissa to go there, where we will find her.
And then what? That does not seem satisfactory to me. Meeting her at the castle, is that enough? What then?
We will ambush.
I see. So you might need some assistance with your ambush then.
Definitely.
Are you afraid to ask me for help?
A little. Can you help?
I think in this particular circumstance, it would be remiss of me to say no.
Can we use magic? Wards?
Yes, it will be required. Our
Okay.
powers are no doubt considerable by all measures. Keep me abreast of the situation. Tell me when and where you were intending this to happen. Give me as much advance notice as you possibly can.
Right.
Similarly, I suppose Gustavius will want as much advance notice as you can give him too. It can only help.
Of course. Thank you.
Will that be all?
I think for the time being, we'll just keep the groundwork going, and then we will send an official letter as an invitation.
On that matter, let me inquire as to the correct protocols. We would like this to seem as official as possible.
Perfect.
I may even... Let me think about that.
They might want some of his blood, right?
Oh,
Like it's what?
that will not happen.
Okay.
However, someone that she knows may be able to act as an interim messenger or bait. We shall see.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Good luck.
Thank you. Hang up.
Hang up.
And then go out of the room.
All right. So while that's been going on, Phillipe and Dr. Shipman and John. So
I
John,
would have been asking Phillipe about all these different art pieces.
And he would have been telling you. He would have been telling you.
so are these things that you've painted, or are these things or made, or are these things that you've purchased or otherwise obtained? Or a mixture of
They're
both?
things that I've purchased,
Okay.
that I've found interesting, and you know,
Okay.
new artists that I'm backing. You know.
Right. So they're not especially famous, but they are good.
Yeah, they are good. They are good.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I like to help new artists as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, John goes and checks up in the security room, and he holds up there while you're wandering around. So after a few minutes, Sage returns whilst you're examining a painting of some description.
Mm.
One
It
of you
is.
make it up if you want.
It is. It is dark. It is.
I'll like relay what I've kind of been listening to Phillipe say about it back to Sage. Like, oh yes, this is from the 1700s by Richard Painter. He did this piece.
His name was Painter,
Yes,
and
yes,
he painted this.
yes. He was a painter. It was very convenient that was his last name. Isn't that right, Phillipe?
Right. John,
Or am I mistaking this for a different one that you showed me? There's been so many now. There's so many. There's so many.
You are getting the painters confused, my friend. But that
I'm
is
so sorry.
that is all right. That is fine. That is fine.
Because there's a
It'd
lot.
be,
That's a
it'd
lot.
be like if your last name was Doctor.
So you two can go now because I'm
Doctor.
home.
I have a first name, okay?
Doctor.
All right, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who. Hmm.
Oh, I haven't heard that one before.
Oh, well, I am very unoriginal. Okay, all right. I will be over there, and
Okay, off you go.
Go into that room, Sage. It's locked.
okay. Do not go into the locker room. All right. Okay. All right.
Barry?
What?
What's in the locked room?
All the corpses.
Personal pictures.
Right.
Very personal
It's like,
pictures.
he's like,
So porn.
what's the Harry Potter character that stole all of
A
the
lot of them
memories
you
from
know.
Okay.
Gilderoy Lockhart stole all like the memories of like all the famous people and made it out like he did it himself. It's
Okay.
like
All right. He goes into that room and locks the door.
All right. What does he do in there?
He looks at the picture of his mother.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he looks at the picture of his mother because at the moment he wishes she was here because this is all weird. He doesn't understand what's going on.
Well, as you're looking at this picture of your mother, this triggers a feeling and a memory in you. And you have this sudden inclination to go for a walk out on the streets.
Another door, so I can go out from here to the left if I want.
Okay, really?
Private door. Posh places have private doors, private.
Yeah. Just
There's a lot of private stuff there.
private. Is this a private entrance through a private lift through a private door at the back of the building or something like that?
Yeah, that kind of crap.
Okay. All right. So Phillipe, you go down the private lift out through the private door. In the dark, dark woods on a dark, dark night, there was a dark, dark house with a dark, dark room. Anyway.
Yep.
So you go out the back of the building.
Yep.
You find yourself down on the street. Next thing you know, you're walking quite quickly.
Okay.
You see a telephone booth up the
Yep.
street. We'll make a perception check to see whether you notice anything at this point. Phillipe Gratiano, perception alertness. You rolled a grand 5 successes. You are pretty sure nobody's following you.
Okay.
So you find yourself in the telephone booth. You're sort of like, feels normal. You feel like you're supposed to, you need to do this, or whatever it is you're about to do.
Okay.
You just punch in a phone number.
Mm-hmm.
And you sort of feel yourself like as an observer, kind of your mind kind of pulling back away from your consciousness, and everything sort of gets like tunnel vision, and you're hearing your voice over the top of things. And the thing is, Phillipe has a eidetic memory, so it's harder for anybody to fully lock him out from his own memories.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you end up remembering is mentioning the few things that you know. Now we better establish what it is that you have heard so far tonight.
Yes.
What has he heard? What do you know that he's heard?
He's heard that the master is willing to meet, and it's at a castle, and the castle's name is
Helgat.
Yeah.
All right.
And what was the castle's name again?
Helgat.
Helgat. The castle's name is Helgat, and he's more than willing to meet, but they are a little bit cautious about the whole thing because they're not sure where she stands or how she stands.
Right.
But yes, it's under arrangement, and there'll be. Does he know about the message? I just want to check on that.
Which message?
They'll probably send her an invitation or something. Does he know about that?
Don't
No.
know. Can anybody else confirm or deny that?
I think we were discussing with Phillipe on how we were going to send a letter, right?
Gonna send some kind of letter or something. Yeah, gonna send some kind of letter by somebody.
All right. Okay. Well, Phillipe, let's make a. Okay, out of game. What do you think Philippe's inner self-control, resolve, willpower
He's
is doing?
I would imagine he's kind of not fighting it because he knows something up. He's going with everything.
Okay.
He's going with everything at the moment.
All right. So you're not going to even try and stop this.
No, but he is going to try and remember it.
All right. What I'm going to now do is check to see whether you would have your cell phone on you, because that has a tracker in it. And I think Rhea is tracing that. And there may be a little bit of a delay before she alerts anyone, enough time for you to actually do this, but not enough time for you might. I'm thinking Rhea might get the alert from your cell phone's movement,
Yeah,
and that alert might then be passed on to Shipman and Sage pretty
yeah,
much.
because he would have it because he's a Toreador.
Right. So you've just taken your phone with you.
Yeah.
Okay, very well. So at that point then, Sage and Shipman, your phones ring.
Hello?
This is Raya. I'm tracking Gratiano's movement right now. He's left your building. He's down on the street. He's about 300 meters from where the vehicle pulled up and stopped in the basement.
Right, thank you.
All right.
I'll get into that.
Good.
I look at Shipman. Did you ever hear that?
Nope. Yes, I did. Let's go, but let's be
We
cautious.
have to pretend like, honestly,
Yeah.
we have to pretend like this never happened. So it might be best just to let him do it and let him come back.
Or we don't know whether he's being taken.
One of us should go. Do you want to go?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go out and down the street.
Okay, so you go out through the main exit because that's the only way that you know.
Yeah, I don't know of any other exit.
Okay. Very well. So you walk out on the street, remembering that it is martial law.
Mm-hmm.
And you start looking around. So let's begin with a perception alertness check.
Two.
Well, you determine quickly that he's not on either of the two streets on the corner of where you enter the building. So if he's left the building, he didn't leave through this door, or he's gone at least a little way away. So you realize you're going to have to do some searching.
Okay, I'll see if there's because there's the exit that I came out of. I just want to check if there's
another exit.
Yeah, another exit that I might not have known around the side of the place. Yeah.
Right, let's make a perception and investigation check as you begin investigating around the building.
Or
Crikey, 2 10s in there. Okay, so as you walk around the back of the building, you realize that there is a like a little private car park area there where vans and trucks and things can load and unload things, and there's a door that's less conventional. It looks like the back entrance to a business rather than an apartment. It's a sort of door that looks like there's a service elevator or something in there.
okay, I think I would think this might have been where he came out of, and I will kind of try and put myself into a mindset of I've just come out this door.
All right.
What's
right?
Like what's a way that I would think to walk towards, if that makes sense.
Wits,
like a natural way to walk.
That sounds good. Wits and investigation. You can hear dogs barking in the distance.
One
success. Okay. Well, you come out onto the street. You see a car drive past, and a couple of hooligans who are clearly breaking the law drive past, and they shout out to you, and you can see that they're drinking in the back of their car. And they're like, "What's up, Gov?" as they drive past.
I'll walk in that direction.
Okay. So Philippe, you finish your phone call, you leave the telephone booth, and now you're heading back along the street. You turn the corner, and you and Dr. Shipman see each other.
Hello,
Hello?
Philippe.
Hello?
Hi, what you doing?
I tried to remember, did I?
Let's see if you can remember. Let's make a wits and investigation to see if you can remember. Philippe. Not wits and craft. Go. 3 successes. You do remember, but it's kind of dim, and you find that every time you try to remember, there's some part of your mind is trying to turn you away from that memory. Like you approach the memory and they're turned away, and you approach it again and you're turned away, like you're being deflected from it somehow. There's like a voice that you are hearing in your head that is pulling you off that thought, and it's a memory of a voice, like an echo. It's like a whisper. You can't even remember what that voice was saying. Like, the only word that you can recall is forget. You will forget.
Doctor?
Yes, Philippe.
I
I think while he's saying this, I'm gonna be like mentally thinking like, is there a car around? Because I remember last time this all happened, he was picked up by, the limousine and stuff. So I'm looking out for him potentially being abducted.
Right. All right. So you can make a perception alertness check.
I do not remember. I remember going to the room.
One.
The only car that you can hear is the sound of that Hoon's car that's just gone past, and you hear it backfire.
Okay. I think for me, I would probably think that, yeah, something has happened by the way he's talking, but it's not a situation where he's about to be stolen.
Doesn't seem to be.
So I'm gonna say, okay, Philippe, let's go back to your apartment. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna lead him back.
All right. So you go back, and Philippe, which way in do you take with him? Do you show him back in through the back door that you came from, or through the front door? I mean, you would maybe in your current state of mind, you might accidentally just go back the way you came, or you might be solid of committed.
That what's in there is so personal to me. It might stop me from going that way. Might.
Do you think we should roll?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we will do that. Philippe, what do you reckon this is? This is like I guess it's wits and
Wits and alertness, maybe? I don't know.
maybe wits and alertness. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. It's a lot of dice. 3 successes. All right. So yeah, you are like, oh, that's not a great idea.
Come round the normal way.
All right. So maybe you walk near that entranceway.
Oh, I do.
Right, and then you're like, oh, we're not going to go that way.
Yeah.
And Shipman, maybe you notice that you're heading that direction too, until Philippe suddenly.
Was it the door that I noticed before
Yeah.
where I kind of aligned myself to? So I'm like, okay, this is probably where he came out of. That's probably all I would think.
The other thing that you would notice is that there was a security camera on that door. I'm guessing, is that correct, Philippe?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so you guys go back inside, up through the front entrance, where Sage is, and
Shipman,
Yes, Philippe.
I cannot remember.
Yeah, I
What
think
is what is happening to me, Shipman?
Something wrong?
I think Philippe had another strange encounter from the beyond.
Oh,
But at least he wasn't actually taken this time, it looks like. I don't
okay,
know if
that's good.
I wouldn't have seen him leave a phone booth. I would have just seen him turn the corner to come towards me.
you
So I don't
suddenly
know what
hear
he
a
was doing.
door- You hear a door slam upstairs open, and then you hear footsteps coming running down, and it's John. John bursts into the room, and he says, "There was somebody out there. I saw
Where?
them. I saw a leg or a foot or something in the edge of the camera."
Which camera?
He's, "Come, I'll show you."
All right,
Okay.
we'll go upstairs.
And you
Or
go up into the
over.
security room, which is just a little wee booth, really, with a few camera monitors and laptop and a computer and some other stuff. It's all wired in. And he goes back and he shows you on the tape how at the point where you came back to the building and you walked past the back door camera, there was somebody else, like a shady looking figure, standing in the alley. You can't really make out anything except a coat, like a long coat, and black shapes. It's all very grainy and it's in black and white. And they were just standing there watching you as you went around the back. And then after you left to go around the front, because Philippe changed his mind, that figure changed directions and stepped out of the camera. And he's like, okay, now look over here. This is the front door. Now whoever this is, he's seen the camera because he's trying to stay out of it, but we can see his leg here. I can probably zoom this in a little bit. Let me see.
Enhance.
Enhance.
You said that we saw like a coat.
Yeah.
Was Ronnie wearing a coat?
Ronnie was wearing a coat, but it could have been Ronnie. But when you zoom in on the feet, this person is wearing sneakers. They are like basketball boot sneakers, like high tops.
Did he perhaps leave anything behind, a cigarette butts or anything?
We can go have a look.
Go and check, I suppose.
Yeah, we will go. We won't take Philippe.
Do you want me
Let Philippe stay with.
You want me to stay here with him?
You should stay here with him. We will be back.
Well, can't Philippe do some of his weirdy, like,
He
magic-y?
can, if we can find something.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we'll go have a look.
But Philippe, you don't want them to touch it because that might interfere with it. It needs to like the last.
Don't.
Yeah, we won't touch
We
anything.
know how it goes. Don't
Yeah.
you worry.
And John, you do your what your mind tells you to do, yeah? That was I don't know.
What?
I'll run out.
All right, so you're going to go out.
Yeah.
Okay.
As
So
will I.
pair of you go running out on the street. All
John,
right.
by the way, Philippe drew this, and I'll give you the picture of Bryce Maxwell, the guy with the red horns and the white outfit.
Now,
Okay.
does Shipman know this person, or does Luke know this person?
I don't think Shipman knows anything about the white, unless it's the dreadlock person has just been sort of fleeting sort of discussions, not like. But I was at the scene where the guy got shot.
Right.
This is the real Bryce Maxwell.
And you'll see there's strong similarities between the person that got shot and this picture, but and it could in fact be the same person.
I mean, for Shipman, he would have already forgotten the name Bryce Maxwell. Like, that has no like significance to me.
Right.
I wouldn't remember like the guy getting shot at all. He would have already forgotten.
You don't remember?
No.
The The guy that came into my home and killed Lionel.
Oh, see, I don't even know who Lionel is.
Lion
I don't
Lionel
even
was
think I met Lionel. I remember the yeah, okay, I remember bits of it, but you know that Lionel. I'm sorry for your loss, but
Are you okay?
no, I
The
just
Malkavian.
I don't know who Lionel is.
Well, Lionel was the retainer that we helped get out of jail. Do you remember that?
So as you're crossing the street to the corner where you are going to look, basically. In fact, let's begin by making perception and investigation checks.
Well, whatever. Lady Amissa lied. Perception and what
Two.
now? Sorry.
But this does look resemblance to the man that Bishop shot in the face at the Setite
Three.
place,
3 success.
but not the same. So what are you trying to show me?
I believe that this guy is real Bryce Maxwell. They gave me a fake one to shoot. There was at no point was there any conversation that this guy had. There was no like, don't kill me or whatever. But he didn't ever claim to be Bryce Maxwell. He was always, let me do it for you, mistress. You know, let me take their eyes. That's what he was like. He was never actually present there. He didn't notice anyone else. Well, he didn't really have his own mind. I think that this guy was a red herring, I suppose.
Well,
Fake.
I guess that would make sense if. I guess I did find it weird that someone, and I don't know their customs too well. I would find it weird that someone would just immediately be like, "Yes, I shot this person's retainer. Let me sacrifice myself to appease unknown people." But it kind of makes more sense if this person's just a random.
And this guy is the guy that that my dear friend, why have I forgotten your name? Victor described this gentleman.
So do you
As one
think
of the
that
guys that
Lady
picked up
Amissa dressed up
Hawk.
this person to look like Bryce Maxwell?
Or the person that
That was
shot and died.
executed by Bishop? Yeah. So okay.
I can't believe that they're the same person. We saw
Well,
him die.
Well, yeah, but that also explains why she was so easily to let that happen because
Yeah.
you know it made you feel better, right?
I'm picking up cans. No, I'm not. I'm not picking up cans. I'm looking
Well,
at cans.
yeah, it made you feel better at least until now, right?
So you're
No.
basically picking up trash at this point, yeah?
Well, I mean, Bryce Maxwell, fake Bryce Maxwell being shot, I guess made you feel a bit more at ease in that she
Had he
was.
used around them? Mm,
Well,
not
no, but like
particularly.
that Lady Amissa was to be trusted in a way, right? But that's obviously not the case because she dressed up someone to look like him and we fell for it. That's what it seems like. So I guess we just can't. Our intuitions are right where we just can't trust them. They will just lie to us. So
Keep that to yourself.
what other things have happened is the other question then.
We have
Anyway,
to keep
let's
those
look.
thoughts to
Let's
ourselves
look
right now.
around this door.
Yes. What do we see?
Okay,
Do we see a shoe print?
It's just me. It was me on the camera.
you can make so Sage, you got 3 successes on a investigation check. Shipman, was that
Yeah.
2? Or was that a separate roll?
Uh,
Perception and investigation.
It was his
let
role.
me roll it again just to be sure.
Just to be sure.
I think I might
It
have
was a
done
good
alertness.
roll.
2. It's the same thing. So
Same thing. Okay. You see a few shoe prints. You see a few cigarette butts. You see some cans, broken bottle, some cat shit, some graffiti painted on the wall, layers of graffiti, in fact, some dirt, Further up the road, there's a motorcycle chained to a pipe against the back of a building. Beyond that, there's a van parked up with some cars. There's a couple.
I'm
of
gonna use
birds.
heightened senses.
Yeah, I
try.
was gonna do the same thing.
Cool, we can both do that.
Okay, so you both womp suddenly heightened senses. Okay, I will get a perception alertness check for that.
Okay. 4.
Jesus.
1.
All right, Shipman, what are you, Dr. Shipman? What are you focusing on? Anything in particular right now at this moment?
I think I'm probably trying to think of like why, because I went to that door, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking I didn't see anybody.
Right, you didn't see anyone when you were there.
Yeah, so this, I'm probably thinking this person can obfuscate. And that's why the camera picked it up, but I didn't notice anything when I was like looking around the place.
Right, and you
Yeah.
you can see the alleyway where they were standing at the point where they appeared on the videotape, and there doesn't appear to be anything particularly extraordinary there. Sage, where are you focusing when you made this perception check?
Where that guy was on the camera.
Okay. All right. Well, Sage, in the distance, you hear the sound of a car start up and pull out and drive off.
Suspicious.
You hear some dogs barking.
The guy, I don't know. We're probably looking
Is there
into
a bike?
ghosts at this point.
Hmm.
You hear the sound of somebody open a window or something like that further up the street in the direction of the dogs barking. You fucking mongols, fucking shut up or I'll fucking shoot you, bastard.
Hey, shut up! Go back to bed.
Who's that? Who is that? Fuck you.
Shit, I didn't expect him to say anything here. Let's go.
So we don't find anything that we could pick up.
I'm gonna say it's
I mean,
probably,
you find
it's probably just Ronnie. He said he was going to do this.
I don't believe it.
Like, why would these people who have been mind controlling Phillipe then also be skulking around like invisible? That's a Ronnie thing to do. Ronnie would be, you know, that it seems like a Ronnie thing. Right?
Dr.
I mean, unless you want to get Phillipe to come and sift through the cat shit, you know.
Russell's trying to tell you something.
Dr. Shipman, your phone.
Okay, I pick up.
It's Ronnie.
Hello, Ronnie.
And I decided to do that because you're talking about him, and a coincidence it has been so far that, and despite the fact that you're on the phone, I'm putting on my glasses. Dr. Shipman, you are going to regret having sent me off, because you see now our lady friend, our mutual lady friend, wants to meet you as well. You see. And, you know.
Oh, so you weren't here just now?
Where?
At Phillipe's. You weren't here?
Is that so? That's where you went then. It was.
Okay, I'll cover the phone and be like,
fucking
it
told
wasn't
you.
Ronnie.
I told you. I punched him.
I'm just, you know.
No, I'm still waiting for the fucking AA.
Oh, sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you like that, but you know, it's pretty funny.
That's not funny if you ask me. It's fucking cold out here. And further, Reginald here keeps telling me that I should eat that fucking cat, which I am resisting strongly based on the fact that last time I tried an animal like that, it was a mangy little fucker. I nearly puked.
Yeah, don't eat cats, Ronnie.
No. And the next step from there is to go and take out the Indian shopkeeper in there, and I don't want to do that either. You know, it's not really a good thing right now where I'm at. So in any case, I made a phone call to Justine, and well, you see, she wants to meet you and your friends. I don't suppose that's possible, is it?
Oh, everyone?
Well, she said you and your friends. I don't know exactly how you want to interpret that. I suppose that's you.
Well, I mean, you were
suppose.
quite hesitant for.
I was quite hesitant, but I've been convinced that this is probably the best course of action.
Okay, well, maybe I just bring one friend.
Hang on, I've got to go. The AA's here. Sorry.
Oh,
Click.
of course. Okay. Well, yeah, Ronnie wasn't here. There wasn't Ronnie.
I know I can overhear your conversation.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that the AA takes quite a while to get there. You know, that kind of slipped my mind a bit.
Especially with martial law.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't Ronnie. I don't really know what else we can come to terms with this here.
Why don't we we could keep an eye out
Yeah.
for any people like that from the future.
John
Or
John.
the future.
You guys
What am I saying?
putting your stuff in like a plastic bag or something, and then cigarette butts and trash.
John John.
I mean, we could
Mm.
get Phillipe to come down and do a run over.
Yes, Phillipe, how can I help?
How long have they been out there? I think-
So far, I'm thinking about 15 minutes, I think.
Uh,
You want me to go and get them, see if they're all right? I don't know.
uh,
I could call them. What about that? That's probably clever.
you call him. Call him.
Which one should I call?
Oh, call Sage.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Brr, brr.
Hello.
This is
Hello, Sage speaking.
Yeah,
John
it's
John.
Yes, John here. We're just checking to see that you're all right. You haven't been killed or anything.
Well, we are all right. We didn't find anything, and it's not Ronnie.
Heightened senses.
Is it John?
No, it's not. It wasn't Ronnie. Okay, all right.
That's right.
Can I hear the call?
Yeah, you can heighten senses. Hear the call.
Tell him I will come down with you.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
sure that's a good idea, Philippe? Why don't you? Wasn't the whole plan for them to go and collect something and bring it back to you?
No, they will mess it up because they have not had the training that I have had in the last few weeks.
What if someone's waiting to try and catch all of you at the same time?
Tell Philippe he sucks.
Philippe, Sage says that you suck.
Don't say that.
Now
It's true.
that is
I can overhear him.
that is more like the Sage I know. Now, listen. I am the only one.
Hang on, let me put you on the phone.
Hello, Sage.
You suck. And yes, it's me.
All right, I love you too. But now listen, I am the only one who can find out what is going on with the. What have you got so far?
We found nothing. Unless you want to touch this cat shit here.
Is there anything at all? Nothing at all?
Can't find a single thing that's going to help us.
I can't find a single thing.
We did see a car drive off.
You hear a car
We saw one. Well, no, we heard it drive off.
Yeah.
All
But it
right.
is gone.
So, have we established that somebody was here? I
Well,
heard you
yes.
telling Dr. Shipman that he was wrong about something. It was not.
Yeah, it
his-
wasn't his sire.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Dr. Shipman hasn't told anyone this yet, but his great grandsire wants to see us.
Oh, that is not a good idea.
Okay.
If well, from my point of view, my brain is already fried. I do not want to get it fried again.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. I do not like fried brain, especially when it is mine.
Right, fair.
All right.
If you want, you can come down.
Oh, thank you. John, come with me. We will go down.
All right, so you guys go down the stairs, and out and round. Okay, and you come out at the back. Where do we actually, Phillipe? Which way do you come out? Because they're right outside the back door.
I come out the proper way.
Okay, so you go all the way around.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of minutes later, Phillipe and John come wandering around, and John locks up behind him as he goes, and he's standing there looking around in both directions. He's got his hand on his hip.
Now,
jacket.
I must have learnt a bit from all my investigating with the investigation team.
Yeah.
So I put that all into practice.
Cool.
Bags and whatnots and all this sort of crap. You know what I mean?
Well, what you're basically saying, and I agree with you, is that you should have some experience points towards investigation, which means that I'm going to raise your investigation, Phillipe, from 2 to 3. Okay. Now, would you like to make a wits and investigation check or a perception and investigation check? It is up to you.
Perception investigation.
Okay. Very good. Well. So, Phillipe, you're standing there looking around, looking at what they've been doing. You can keep talking and I'll just fill you in when something happens or if something happens, okay?
Okay. Okay, so Sage, move your foot, please.
Are you using heightened senses?
Yeah, I've got the heightened senses on because I'm nervous about this whole evening so far.
I'm standing out of the way for you.
Everybody's got heightened senses on now, yeah?
Yeah.
I turn it off.
Turned it off.
I
You would have.
I would have turned mine off too because I don't want to blow my ears out.
turn it off
Again.
because Russell's got something up his sleeve.
The phone call might have convinced you to turn it off. I mean,
Yeah.
that's when you drop the heightened senses.
Because I'm using mine because I'm doing the investigating, so I'm using it to help.
Right. Okay. So you've got your heightened senses on. And then these guys, do they know that you're using it or something? Otherwise, they're going to talk and blow your eardrums.
I say, shh.
I wouldn't be talking because I have experience with that happening.
Okay. So you're listening around, you're looking around. In the distance, you can see the silhouettes of dogs through these slats of wooden posts on a fence.
Yeah.
You can hear the sounds of television sets behind people's closed doors, and you can hear the sound of somebody arguing up the street inside their house. And you're looking around and you see a blind across the road from you rattle. You hear a car in the distance, possibly the sound of sirens in the distance, an airplane flying over.
Yeah.
You see some birds nesting. A cat walks along a post. That's about it.
Yeah. He takes up all the stuff because he's got it in bags now.
Mm-hmm. So you pick up the cigarette butts, the trash.
With little pincer things.
Okay.
So that I don't touch it.
You've been doing this for a little while, so you've come here prepared.
Yeah.
And there's a catch it.
Yeah, we take that too.
Right.
Because he might have slipped on it or fell on it or any kind of. Yeah.
You might have ate some of it.
There's a haystack and there's a needle in it.
Yeah.
All right. Fair, cool. All right. So how long do you stay here? I mean, after you've noticed these things, you've picked up all the stuff, you just head back inside after that?
Yeah, I head back inside.
Okay. And you guys going with him, I assume?
Yes.
What order are you leaving in?
I will go behind Phillipe.
Okay. Or are you doing a Reservoir Dogs and everybody's walking next to each other?
Who's
No.
Mr.
Through the
White?
door, we're all like squished.
One final perception alertness check for me.
Sorry, do you say perception alertness?
Yeah.
3.
3,
2.
2, and Phillipe. Final perception alertness is going to be 5 successes. Phillipe, your heightened senses still on?
Yeah.
As you're leaving the scene, heading back around the building, you look up briefly again to where you saw the blind rattle earlier. You know, you're assuming one of your neighbors is just being nosy.
Yeah.
When you see through the blind for just a moment a figure behind that blind and a telescope or a big lens facing you.
Duck. No, I go,
Where?
move. No, I go, sorry. No, I was only saying that out. I go, move to your, so they'd be undercover quickly.
Okay, I'll do that.
See if that's just a man doing a film, because I can't tell properly from here.
Mm-hmm.
Then he can still make his film and not know we've seen him.
All right. I'm going to get you to make a check because I feel that your initial reaction was more realistic.
Okay. All right, I'll go for duck then. I'll do duck.
We can make a self-control check.
Okay.
How about that?
All right.
2 10s. All right, no worries. You make your self-control check. So you just quietly get them to come out of range of that lens.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
All right. There is a window. 1, 2. How many things up?
How many what?
How high is it? Is it like
it's-
just in a house or a
It's-
major
it's
building?
an apartment building, but it's the ground floor.
Ground floor window to your. Yeah, and I tell her where
Describe
it is.
where it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it there. Okay.
Okay, that was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a great night, and
That was so much fun.
shall cease our recording.